So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
If you're serious about getting better at golf, start with the fit. At Hagen Oaks, everything begins with Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan Player Performance Studio analyzes your swing to match you with the right clubs. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball for your game. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And with FootJoy's 3D foot scanner, you'll walk the course in shoes that actually fit. From driver to putter and even what's on your feet, Hagen Oaks fits every part of your game. Total Game Fitting, only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
100, so.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action, but please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITVFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
You know, it's not too often that I get a little bit like starstruck in this industry, but having Frank in the room is pretty.
That was cool.
Pretty cool. Like, I'm glad I got the chance to ask him about that. The clip of him doing the Gruden impression on Hard Knocks in front of the Raiders, because that's one of my. Anytime that clip, that's one of those clips that if it comes on social media, I'm stopping and I'm watching it every single time.
Absolutely, being a Raiders fan and watching that, season.
But I'm that way with a lot of those Hard Knocks. Like anytime the Aiden Hutchinson singing Michael Jackson comes on, I'll watch it.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
I like those moments. That's one of my favorite part of Hard Knocks is when they take you into those team meetings and you get to see what those team meetings
100%.
are like a little bit. But Frank's Glenn on.
So
we needed a quarterback with a lot of neck. Like, it's one of my favorite lines, period. And just his John Gruden impression is my absolute favorite.
It's one of the best.
And his facial expression, like, I mean what I
with
said.
The eyebrow, how he
looks
raises
more
it.
like John Gruden than John Gruden does.
I agree with
like,
you.
when I see John Gruden, I associate John Gruden with Frank's impression more than who actually John Gruden
well,
is.
and John, I think part of that, too, has kind of faded into the abyss with the situation that has happened with him.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you're exactly right. It's almost like Frank Caliendo is reviving him every time he does a Gruden impression. We're like, oh, there's John Gruden. Remember the former coach, NFL coach?
Are you a fan of stand-up comedy? Like in general, do you go to stand-up shows?
It's really interesting. I don't go out of my way to go to stand-up comedy. In Nashville, they have an incredible stand-up comedy place. I mean, it's very famous. And they have a lot of comedians that come out of Nashville. And so there was a couple times that I would go to some shows there. It's just, in our lives, we're so busy all the time. It's like the last thing I'm doing is like, I'm going to plan to go to this or this. But if I am given tickets, I'm going. I don't watch it on Netflix necessarily. I think it's better to be there in person.
Yeah.
But I think stand-up comedians are awesome to do what they do.
I don't seek out a lot of comedians, but when a comedian hooks me, they have me for life.
Yeah.
Like
the roast of Tom Brady and those comedians, I was
Lots of them I love already. Some of them I was like, they're fine or whatever. And then, of course, anytime, I doubt they write their own stuff, but anytime an athlete takes a crack at it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
There are my two favorite forms of entertainment in terms of feeling, like how I feel. Like I hate watching sad movies. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to be crying. I can't stand stuff like that. People like that. I'm not one of those people. My two favorite things, I love to laugh.
Yep.
So comedy is definitely for me. And I love to be scared. So
I love being
horror
scared.
movies are the best for me.
You got to be in the mood, too.
I've seen massive stadium, well, not necessarily massive stadium, but like NBA stadium shows of like, I saw Kevin Hart in Sacramento. I've seen big comedians like that. I've seen more smaller, like when one of my favorite comedians of all time, Brian Regan, came through Thunder Valley before they built the venue, and it was their outdoor stadium. Like I love comedy shows, and I've been a fan of Frank's forever. So to walk in the room, it's like, oh, Frank is here. Okay, now I just have to interact with him, and he's gonna go.
It's cool to have been able to shake his hand for sure.
It's the best. We have quite the show today, Kayla. By the way, welcome in, Matt and Kayla Show. I'm Matt. That's Kayla. We got Kyle Ledbetter on the other side of the glass. We got lots to talk about today. The Kings lost to the Golden State Warriors last night, which, from a tanking standpoint, I'm of course happy about. But one of the things we're really going to dive into today is that in reality, Kayla, one of the reasons why the Sacramento Kings have won, I think, 7 of their last 16 games, if I'm not mistaken, is because they are simply just playing better basketball. They're playing way better together. And it dawned on me, I was watching the game last night, and there was a handful of possessions where I was like, this is not nearly the same as when the Sacramento Kings started the season.
You mean as painful?
Well, yes. Like there's ball movement,
right.
There's familiarity,
right.
There's cutting, there's fluidity. Like the way the Sacramento Kings are playing now compared to where they were playing at the start of the season, in my opinion, is night and day difference. Far more entertaining, and there's a lot more fluidity, a lot more confidence to it. We're going to dive into that specifically because I think there is an undertone of a shot at the veterans in that. There's not, because the veterans are largely responsible for the Kings getting to this point. It also is a credit, of course, to the young guys that are playing. We'll talk about how much injuries and just sheer playing time play a factor to that. And I think it's another example of why Doug Christie deserves a lot of credit.
It's so funny you say this. I didn't even know, specifically what was going to be on the rundown yet till this morning.
Yeah.
And so when you just said that, when I was watching the game yesterday, I literally was like, whatever convo we have, I'm going to come on here and make it a point to say something that I feel about Doug Christie in the last month or so, why it's changed my mind more so than anything.
I love that. That's a great tease. We'll do that at 11 o'clock. We'll dive into that conversation of how much better the Sacramento Kings simply are playing right now, even if people like myself want them to lose basketball games. Coming up at noon, we're going to talk about this hypothetical worst-case scenario of what if the Sacramento Kings fall to, let's say, 8th? How does that change the Kings' approach to the offseason? And does it change more of the action or the expectation? We'll dive into that coming up at noon during our lunch break. At 1 o'clock, Jeremiah Salmonson joins us. He's been a friend of mine for a while. He covers both the Kings and the A's for sports radio service here in Sacramento. He was at the game last night. in the Chase Center. Looking forward to chatting with Jeremiah. If you know Jeremiah, he's a character. He's one of the most fascinating individuals on the planet in just terms of the places he goes and the things that he does.
What is he, his own Dr. Seuss book?
He's like the most interesting man in the world.
Dos
Whatever the Dos Equis commercial. That's Jeremiah. So we'll talk to him coming up at 1 o'clock. But let's start with last night's game, Kayla. Oh, also we'll get into some NFL talk. Kayla's 2-minute drill. CBS thinks the Niners should go after Myles Garrett. I'm fascinated to hear Kayla's thoughts on that. And ESPN put out their NFL mock draft trade edition. So basically they took every single pick, 1 through 32 in the first round, and brought up a hypothetical trade for that pick. So hypothetically, what would the Raiders trade the number 1 pick for? Hypothetically, what would the Niners trade the 27th pick for? Right. So we'll kind of dive into that towards the end of the show too. Kayla, last night, I'm watching the Kings and Warriors go down to the wire. And I'm not going to lie to you. I got to a point where I was like, I think the Kings are winning this game.
Yeah.
And I crafted up a tweet. I had a tweet ready to go as soon as they won the game.
You were fuming.
No. I wasn't.
You were fuming.
I took a screenshot. I still posted it, but I just changed the wording. I took a screenshot of the team payroll, and I took a red marker, and I highlighted every single player that was not available. And then I did the math. $153 million worth of salary did not play for the Sacramento Kings last night.
Oh, that's chump change, Matt.
5 of the top 6 salary slots in terms of highest paid players, did not play last night. And the 6th was Malik Monk, who played, I think, 11 minutes.
It was nothing.
He barely played.
Yeah.
Now, Precious Achiuwa still played.
Yeah, but I heard them talking about the end of the game. They called it like a tweener.
Yeah. Well,
like in between a vet and a,
But even so, let's say, hypothetically, the Kings went, okay, we're going to rest Precious and Malik too. Okay, so you have 7 guys that are playing now. My point is, if the Kings had won last night, I don't think I could possibly have been mad about it. I think I would have been like,
you could have been.
Well, I think I've been like, damn it. But what is there? What can the Kings do? Like, they're just, is going to lead into the point at 11 o'clock. They're just playing better basketball. The young guys that are playing well. They're competitive against a Warriors team that's not very good, but trying to figure some things out and reincorporate Steph Curry before the play-in.
Yeah, and what's Doug going to do? Go back on what he said and say, oh, never mind. Now I don't want them to, see an example set like that we want to win. And then like the last 3 games, I'm going to say, hey, by the way, guys, I don't want you to play hard. I don't want you to play for the entire first, second, third, fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, Doug's not going to change up on his messaging and how he's expected them to do their business.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with Doug. And Doug and the Kings are getting a lot of national negative attention right now.
Right.
And it's by a bunch of people that I just think, quite honestly, and I don't blame them, are not paying any attention to Kings basketball and just taking a clip and running with it. And I know that happens a lot on social media. That happens a lot on the internet. But it's never been a Doug thing. It's never been a players thing. The only thing that Scott Perry and the Kings can do is simply not make players available. And that's what they did last night. Again, 5 of your top 6 salary slots, $153 million worth of salary, did not play last night. You still almost won the game. At that point, you're just like, well, then we're just going to win because I can't expect Doug and the players to do anything different. So if this is how it's going to play out, and I don't know if DeMar DeRozan's going to play again. We got 2 games left.
I have a feeling he's not. I
would imagine he's not.
That's my guess.
So what more can the Kings possibly do? Now, I still think they need to lose out. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we'll talk about the tanking update because shout out the Brooklyn Nets for winning.
Yeah.
Shout out the Milwaukee Bucks.
Helps a little bit.
On yesterday's show, we talked about how much of a dumpster fire the Bucks organization is, and then we saw we were playing the Nets, and we're like, maybe.
We're like, this is good.
And they did it for us.
Yeah.
They came through. They lost that game. So shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks and shout out to the Nets for winning.
Thanks for listening.
But, Kayla, right now, I'm seeing and I'm perusing social media, and I was not planning on talking about this at all today. I didn't talk about it at all on the podcast last night. Mm-hmm. Because to me, it wasn't a story. To me, it didn't stand out to me. The Sacramento Kings intentionally fouled Seth Curry.
Right.
Up 101 to 100 with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go.
Correct.
That clip is being taken, and the Warriors broadcast of that clip specifically is being taken after Draymond Green pointed it out post-game. Mm-hmm. And it is being used now as the lightning rod of the NBA needs to fix tanking, because look at the despicable thing that the Sacramento Kings did last night. They're winning and they're intentionally fouling. Now, I'll be honest with you. We were just talking about this with Jason Ross. I don't know if you have an explanation, Kayla. I don't. What I think was happening in the moment, going back and watching it and thinking about it, remembering it in real time, I think Doug Christie was fouling Seth Curry, and he chose to foul Seth Curry, even though Seth is a career, I think, 86% free throw shooter.
Right.
He'd only taken six free throws that entire season. Now, to be fair, he was 6 for 6. Yeah. But he chose to foul Seth Curry because I believe the Kings wanted to get to a timeout. And there was a timeout. There was a stoppage after that play. Mm-hmm. Then Seth Curry came out, and he split the free throws. He made one, tied the game, missed the second. Everybody's going, oh, the Kings are intentionally trying to tank. Doug McDermott immediately follows that up with a 3 to put the Kings back up by 3 points, 104 to 101.
Teach me how to Doug.
I get people wanting to use that as a tanking thing because it didn't make a ton of sense. But what makes even less sense is someone who's followed the Sacramento Kings as closely as we have this season, and especially over the last month when half of us have been calling for the team to tank and Doug Christie's been very clear with, hell no, I'm not going to do it. Why the hell would Doug start now in that moment in that game? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you asked me about it this morning when I got in, and I had not seen any of this stuff yet. So I honestly didn't even know. I was a little confused on what you were talking about. Yeah. And so then I went back and replayed that situation that happened with the foul. And I do remember on the broadcast, Katie Christensen and was Mark
Jones
was doing it last night. Yeah. And Mark. And they had briefly just said something kind of because they were a little bit confused with the foul as well. But then, like you mentioned, sometimes it's an explanation for like subbing someone in or something like that. So I didn't even think of it because of the fact that, again, Doug McDermott hit the 3. They went back up.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the game played out how
they didn't
it played
continue
out.
to foul.
It
wasn't like a hack-a-shack thing.
No, it wasn't. And I look at it like this. When you're a market like Sacramento and you're not like a big, huge city market, right? Because even when you're a bigger market and you're really bad, sometimes you get the attention. But Sacramento being a quote-unquote smaller market in the NBA, of course there's not a lot of attention on it this year because it has been a down year. But on top of it, they're not really understanding what's going on here and the stuff that's Doug had specifically noted several times about tanking and the convos that we have day in and day out about, like, there's more people frustrated here because they're not tanking properly than there are people frustrated because they're tanking. And so I think it's just one of those things that a clip goes viral, then everybody wants to jump on the most popular thing that they're talking about right now in the NBA, and that's tanking.
Well,
and there's other teams that are clearly doing it blatantly and have been doing it blatantly for like a month plus.
Yeah.
So I don't look into that being something that they did on purpose. What Doug just all of a sudden is going to be like, all right, time to tank now with 3 games left.
Yeah.
After saying this whole thing about how he doesn't believe in it and that's not what he does as a coach, unless he got a call from Perry in that very moment that said, hey, by the way, you need to foul Seth Curry. Seth Curry.
It's caught on camera that Doug Christie definitely calls the shot.
Yeah.
Like, he looks at Doug McDermott and points to Seth, who was right in front of the Kings bench.
What, did he have an IFB?
Oh, he just pointed. But I think it was, again, trying to come up with an explanation. I think it was simply, let's foul Seth Curry.
Yeah.
I know we're in the penalty, so send him to the line. Maybe Doug Christie forgot they were in the penalty. I don't think so. More than likely, they just fouled Seth Curry because they felt, okay, we'll just foul him. We'll get the ball back. There's 3.5 minutes remaining anyway, so it's not like that's going to be a game-changing swing. Let's take this time out and get this breather for our guys. Now, Jason Ross pointed out when we were talking to him about it before the show that the Kings didn't make any substitutions during that timeout. So why did they intentionally foul to get to the timeout? Was it simply just to give the guys a breather? And that makes a lot of sense considering they played 9 guys last night, but one of them, in Malik Monk, barely played. He played 11 minutes. So just giving these guys a breather for down the stretch, or maybe Doug wanted a stoppage so he could draw up a specific offensive set. I don't know what the explanation is.
Right.
But any of those hypothetical ones I just came up with are more fitting to the pattern of behavior of the Sacramento Kings this entire season. Then suddenly Doug decided in this moment in front of everybody, we're going to blatantly tank when we've been virtually or like very vocally and action-wise against that the entire year.
Oh, and by the way, against Golden State, who right now just got Steph Curry back, who there's a lot more attention just getting Steph back. A lot more attention is being put on Golden State now with him being healthy. And I know that he was not asked about it after the game, because that would be probably people's next question. Well, what did Doug respond to when that question was asked? I think because people didn't really think about it in the moment, and it was on the road, that question wasn't asked, as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear Doug talk about it because, again, I don't think it was a story until Draymond Green referenced it post-game. And it's not like Draymond went out of his way to reference it. Draymond was, because it's very clear, not just in Warriors circles, but in NBA circles in general. When Draymond speaks, people listen. I'm in that group.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Draymond Green, but I think Draymond, when he gives opinions on things, because he'll say things that sometimes need to be said, he'll provide a perspective that a lot of times I think he's wrong, but it's an interesting perspective. Sure. And he spoke on a couple of things, from the play-in to tanking to fixing tanking last night. But as in talking about this, he brought up the Sacramento Kings intentionally fouling. This is when he was answering a question on like the play-in tournament specifically, because it started about a conversation for the Warriors, like how much you're looking forward to the play-in tournament. Is the play-in tournament a good thing still in your mind? And when answering that, Draymond referenced the Sacramento Kings intentional foul.
I think it worked initially. And now, like, to have a team stuck in 10th, it ain't working. So we could have lost our last 15 games and been stuck in 10th. It ain't working. You know, but it works for a little bit. But, you know, if you could be stuck in 10th and lose all the last 15 games of your season, and you could be stuck in 10th, it ain't working. So, yeah.
That's more about tanking than the play-in, because it's about the fight.
Well, I think the play-in was made for teams to not tank. Like, I think that's the part that everyone forgets. You know, like, the play-in came about to make teams like maybe through 12 or 13 keep going. They ain't keep going. They kind of slowed down, and then they hit the brakes. So, you know, I saw a team tonight foul Seth Curry with 3 minutes to go in the game for no reason in the penalty. It ain't working. Like, so, but, you know, we want to make the playoffs, so it works, I guess.
So I actually agree with every single thing that Draymond Green said until referencing the Seth Curry foul. Because I think he's spot on with everything, and I think he misunderstands or misuses the Seth Curry foul as an example because that was at the top of mind. I don't think that is an accurate example to what he's talking about. I do not believe...
He doesn't know what's going on here day to day.
Right.
He's not paying attention to Sacramento Kings.
Yeah. Rob Perez, also known as Worldwide Wob, he's like big NBA Twitter. He actually just tweeted out an explanation of the, or at least he didn't just do this, but of the foul. He basically said the two sets of free throws shown were the results of, one, Doug Christie wanting to stop play so he could call his use it or lose it timeout before time dropped below 3 minutes. Yeah. So he wanted to use his timeout. He wanted to get that rest or he would lose it anyway. Yep. So there's a perfectly logical explanation for the first foul. The second foul was Dylan Cardwell fouled Seth Curry during a live rebound. That wasn't an intentional foul, and Cardwell fouled out of the game.
I was just going to say, he fouled out of the game.
So it's not, he didn't wrap Seth up. He was going for a rebound, and he fouled a center fouled a guard. Duh.
Yeah,
Like, we see this all the time. So that, the second pair of free throws by Seth Curry is being taken completely out of context and lumped into the clip like the Kings intentionally fouled him twice. And they did not.
Right.
So that narrative is BS. The first foul, I understand it looking weird to everybody, including Draymond Green at the moment. But when you understand the use it or lose it timeout, it makes perfect sense. I have this timeout. I might as well use it. Let's foul this guy who's taken 6 free throws this season, and we're just going to use it.
Right. Again, not being, this is when I will stand on a platform, and I did it in other markets too. This is when I will stand on a platform and say, this is why you tune into local sports. If you want to know what really is going on, whether you like our opinions or don't, or agree with them or not, that's what Sports Talk Radio is about. We're not all supposed to agree. But if you want to know what's going on and have an idea of realistically what's happening day to day, you turn into local Sports Talk Radio or your local sports on your TVs or your local paper, because national media, no offense to them, they do some really good things as well. National media don't have a clue what is happening in Sacramento, how they've fared the rest of the season, how they've dealt with the rest of the season, what their long-term, plans are for these youth. Like, they don't know.
Right.
And so for this to, honestly, it's kind of bothering me, because for this to go out there and catch wind like it is, when all these other Utah, Indiana, these teams that are blatantly doing it night to night to night, and Will Hardy comes out and literally admits that they're tanking because his boss told him to, and yet we're having problem with one clip with 3 games to go in the season, and there's one clip out there about Doug calling a time, and then we're going to make this a thing. Not us, but other people. I'm sorry, I have a problem with it, and everybody else is overthinking it.
Well, last night there was some pretty egregious tanking going on, especially by the Utah Jazz.
Oh,
the Brooklyn Nets didn't get the memo.
They're the kings of it.
Shout out the Brooklyn Nets. But the Utah Jazz, just wait. We'll talk about what they did in the second half, or specifically what they didn't do in the second half to remain tied with the Sacramento Kings in the Tankathon standings. Technically, they did it before the Kings, but you get my point. Plus, we're going to hear from Draymond Green again, because he shared thoughts on how to fix tanking. And again, like or hate Draymond, he's
a thinker.
It's simple and it's effective. We'll hear what he had to say. Matt and Kayla are just getting started here on a Wednesday, Sactown Sports.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Buying golf gear is easy. Buying the right golf gear? Well, that's different. At Hagen Oaks, they don't just sell equipment, they fit your entire game. With TrackMan technology in the Player Performance Studio, your clubs are matched to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball that performs best for you. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio dials in your stroke, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds correct shoe size for your feet. It's a smarter way to play better golf. Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hoblet way. transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hoblet way. Experience the difference at HobletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, I guess we're getting a little spicy and hostile already on the text line from the 530. LMAO, you guys are the spokespeople for the Kings. There's no defending what Doug did if you have common sense. All right, 530. Hey, heads up. First up, I have the same area code as you, so we can be friends in that sense. If we have common sense, we just told you the logical explanation for the situation.
I'm not going to hear that.
He fouled to keep his timeout that he would have lost, and it was a 1 point or a potentially 2 point swing where with 3.5 minutes left, you go from up 1 to down 1, worst case scenario. I think that's like trading a run for an out in baseball. Who cares? If you're going to lose the timeout, make that move. And the Kings did not intentionally foul Seth Curry for the rest of the game. And Doug McDermott, after being the one to intentionally foul Seth Curry, immediately hit a 3 on the other end of the floor to increase the Kings' lead from when they intentionally fouled.
All I'm going to say is I just got here. I'm not a spokesperson for no one. I'm a person who's coming in here with an open mind and calling it and giving my true opinions on things. And believe me, if you've listened to this show enough, you've heard my true opinions on things. And they're not always glowing reviews about the organization. But when I say something, I truly mean it. And this is ridiculous. And it's been overblown. And I feel like sometimes fans are so negative right now, too, that it's like anything and everything we do, it's just a failure. Everything we do, it's a screw up. Yeah, a lot of things you have done are. But sometimes it's okay to side with your organization when it's definitely something that's been blown up and blown out of proportion. And I think this has been blown out of proportion.
And here's an idea, too. Just kind of if we're talking about common sense, here's an idea just in debate in general, but especially in sports talk that turns sports fans into children. And I don't understand why. If you disagree with an opinion, that's fine. If you think the Kings were blatantly tanking last night, that's your opinion. You can have it. We have no problem with that. But disregarding everything compared to your opinion and pushing out fact or a very logical explanation, like if Doug Christie does not foul there, he loses a timeout. That's not an opinion. Mm-hmm. That's not common sense. That's just a fact of a strategy situation. He chose to make that call. Now, if you don't like that call, again, that's fine. But there's an explanation there. If someone disagrees with your opinion, that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're making stuff up and fabricating stuff. All right? It doesn't benefit Kayla or I at all to save face for the Kings. If anything, I should be freaking celebrating it. If I thought the Kings were tanking last night, yay! That's what I've been calling for the last 2 months. So why the hell would I suddenly step in front of the organization now? Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And that's the whole point that we were trying to make. And Martin's like, then why even talk about it? Because we have a talk radio show here. And this is something that was brought to us today. And something that people are discussing that we're going to have an opinion about because we get paid to have an opinion. So I'm not quite sure where you're going with that one.
Clearly, and we'll move on from this, but the 530 just simply isn't listening close enough. He said, you didn't make a clear explanation. Your words salad your way to saying Doug wanted to use a timeout, so he intentionally fouled the best shooter of all time when they were in the bonus. They didn't foul Steph Curry, ding-dong.
They didn't foul Steph.
They fouled Seth, his brother, who had taken 6 free throws the entire year. All right? So if you're going to accuse someone of not having common sense, listen closely. Anyway, let's move on. I'm mad because the Utah Jazz did what they did last night. That's why I'm hot. Did you see what happened? Did you see what the Jazz did in the second half? They gave
up like Jazz.
No. They gave up 95 points in the second half.
What's new? They do something every time they go try to tank.
50 points in the third quarter, 45 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been bad.
95 points and a half to lose that game. They gave up 156, I think, in total to the New Orleans Pelicans, who, by the way, the Kings just beat in the Golden One Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that team. Now, ultimately, it doesn't matter because the Jazz lost, the Kings lost. So the Kings and Jazz are still in the same spot. both teams benefited last night because with the Brooklyn Nets win over the Milwaukee Bucks, both the Jazz and the Kings are now half a game back of that third spot, which I know we've said it a billion times, but just in case someone doesn't know, top 3 spots have the same draft lottery odds. That's the flattened system in the draft lottery. Top 3 spots, 14% at number 1 overall, 52% at top 4. So that's the spot you want to be in. And the Brooklyn Nets are holding on to it for dear life because the Jazz and the Kings are chomping at their feet. And the Nets play the Pacers tomorrow, Kayla. So somebody's got to win that game.
Someone's got to win that one. Who is it? I have no idea.
I don't think it's going to be the Pacers. They've been
just as bad as Utah has when it comes to tanking.
They really
or
have.
Good, I guess, for them.
Not to make you more upset, but I just pulled up Pelicans' most points and a half in franchise history. Their entire franchise history.
Was it last night?
95 is the most. The second most is 85.
Kings? Against the Kings?
No.
Oh, whew. That would
be
bad.
But it's 85 points. Their third highest scoring quarter of all time is 81, or half.
Yep.
So 81 is the third most. They gave up 95 last night.
Anyway, look, we know what the Jazz are going to do. I don't like it, but we know what they're going to do.
You like jazz?
No. We know what the Pacers are going to do. They have a very...
We need a Pacers drop.
The Pacers are very blatantly tanking to save their draft pick that they traded earlier this season.
Like, okay, I kind of get it. Then I'm like, nope, no, I don't, because you made the decision.
Oh, no, I get why they're doing it. It's completely logical to me. It's just dumb.
But they made the decision.
They traded the pick this year for a player that, granted, isn't playing, but I think they're happy that he's not playing because they're thinking next year because they were in the finals last year.
Kayla, how does this work for a drop?
Pace.
Oh, yeah.
Pace.
No.
That's Mike
how
Brown.
I feel
That's
right
Mike
now
Brown talking
with this
about
tanking conversation just day after day.
Regardless, turn it off. Can't handle that.
Do you like that, or
I feel like it could turn into a rap,
or it makes you sad?
or like a disco EDM.
Nate Littlefield, our old producer here at the station, made a beat out of it, like he did like an EDM beat to Mike Brown saying pace.
Anyway.
Pace.
You brought up something yesterday. Well, actually, you talked about it on Monday when I wasn't here because I was not being a proper adult and understanding school schedules. But you brought it up yesterday too, and it was kind of a, I don't want to call it a throwaway opinion, but it's like a little line you dropped that is part of the conversation, but there's a lot there. You talked about karma, like basketball karma and integrity, because that's a major conversation amongst NBA executives and NBA circles right now. Adam Silver has spoken very openly about integrity when it comes to properly rebuilding and not just blatantly tanking. In fact, Anthony Slater, who was the one asking Draymond Green the questions from ESPN, he also covers the Kings. Anthony Slater wrote an article for ESPN about this very topic and mentioned the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings have their own section of this article talking about the situation that they're in, how long they took to quote-unquote tank, if they've even really fully quote-unquote started tanking or not. Regardless, like it feels like an argument of semantics. But when you said it, it opened my mind to what does the NBA want? Because if they're going to make changes this summer, right? We know it. We don't know what those changes are going to be.
They have to make changes this summer of some sort.
A lot of tanking changes are coming.
Right.
And to some extent, it is a knee-jerk overreaction to one season, but this season was so bad that it makes sense that they're going to make some changes to the lottery system, right? So changes are coming. We don't know specifically what they are. It might make things, honestly, even more confusing, but we know they're working on some things. But the point is, whether they come up with the perfect explanation or not, does it matter if they come up with this magical fix that ultimately hurts teams like the Kings and the Nets, who probably are going to be bad next year? If the Pacers keep their top pick, let's say they fall in the top 4, so they keep their pick, and they're right back in the finals conversation next year. If the Wizards, who have added Anthony Davis and Trae Young, get a top pick. Maybe they get number 1 overall.
Which is wild.
And they add A.J. DeBonta to that group, and they're competing in the Eastern Conference next year. The Utah Jazz, who traded for Jaren Jackson Jr., are going to be in the playoff conversation next year. These 3 teams, or any one of these 3 teams, could win the lottery and completely benefit from the system going blatantly against what Adam Silver has talked about publicly. They implement these changes. Who cares? Because the teams that have done it are already benefiting.
Do you think that in any way anybody looks at the Kings and says, oh, wait, well, I mean, they've been not healthy. They have Domantas Sabonis. They have Zach LaVine. Like, these guys, they have Keegan Murray. Like, they could be right back in a play-in, playoff mix next year with their top pick. Like, are we looking at it in a way because we're in Sacramento and we know that this roster is not built to have success with all these individual talents here? But are other people maybe looking at it like, well, these are names. They could be a team next year if they tank and get the top pick. They could be right in the mix too. I'm just bringing that up because I'm thinking about it from this end. The reason why we see it how it is because we saw what a disaster it was for this roster, this current roster, even with all these names that are successful players on it.
Yeah.
But like from afar and people looking in, maybe they're like, well, we didn't really pay attention to the Kings to start the year or what the mess was. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think so. The reason why I don't fully subscribe to that, or my pushback to that, if someone outside of Sacramento had said that exact thing to me, my pushback would be, did you think this team, when constructed this past offseason, was going to be any good? If you say yes, then you're in the vast minority, because the conversation around the Kings this year is they were going to be bad. We just didn't know they were going to be this terrible. And it's actually a good thing that they ended up being this terrible.
Sure, but the people who don't go in and actually talk basketball every day and don't look into what the roster was really, they just see names.
Sure.
And they say, oh, well, that roster has this, and this on it. Why can't you guys be competitive next year after you get that pick? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that. I think circumstances matter in the sense of, the way I look at it, it's which teams actually need these top picks and which teams don't.
Yeah.
I think the Sacramento Kings and Brooklyn Nets are the 2 teams in this mix that actually desperately need this.
And I don't agree. I just wanted to bring up a different point of view.
And it's a fair perspective to have, because a lot of people in general look at this Kings roster and go, how the hell are they that bad?
Exactly.
They've got 2 future Hall of Famers on it. Domantas Sabonis was all NBA a year ago, granted all these injuries.
Keegan.
So you're right about that sense. But I think NBA executives are smart enough to understand, hey, the Kings are a disaster, and they need this. The Pacers are not a disaster. They're benefiting from a catastrophic injury to Tyrese Halliburton.
They traded for Double J.
The Jazz won the draft lottery. Won the trade deadline.
Right.
The Jazz are looked at as one of the most exciting teams in the league going into next year.
I thought they were going to maybe compete this year.
I think Jazz fans thought that too, and then they shut that down.
You like jazz?
No. We'll take the break because I want to continue this topic, and I want to explore something. I don't like conspiracy theories. But let's play a game of if the NBA did fully rig the draft lottery. Based off of how this season has gone, what would they want? And would it be better? Well, we'll explore that a little bit as this conversation continues. Shout out to everybody joining us on this Fired Up Wednesday. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whoa. Okay, this one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Wait. The T-Mobile one says family saved over $3,700 versus the other big guys in the past 5 years. And their experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. And a 5-year price guarantee? Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or...?
I'm thinking high five.
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up.
That's value you can feel every day. Switch now at T-Mobile.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 among accounts with 3+ voice lines compared to AT&T and Verizon, excluding discounts, credits, and optional charges. See harrisx.com/T-Mobile. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Bring the entire family out to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. From exciting action on the field to smiles in the stands, it's the perfect place to make family memories. Plan your next family night out at the ballpark. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Kayla, it's such a weird question. Are you a conspiracy theorist? Do you believe in conspiracy theories? I know it's opening a can of worms and opening Pandora's box, especially when it comes to sports. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, really. I like to explore them because I think they're entertaining and they're fun. Of course, I very much lived as a kid what happened in 2002 and the conspiracy theories behind all that between the Kings and the Lakers and who would the NBA have rather won the championship. Well, listen, I get it. I too, when the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic away and then suddenly landed Cooper Flagg, I too was like,
It's hard not to have a conspiracy theory about that one.
Right. It makes more sense.
Or you could just say that he's dumb.
Yeah, well,
sometimes it's just as simple as you dumb.
Yeah, could be. I do not subscribe to conspiracy theories when it comes to the NBA draft lottery specifically. I think sometimes conspiracy theories are a convenient explanation for something that mathematically should not have happened, but there's always a chance, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to explore that a little bit when having this integrity tanking conversation in the NBA. Because if the league, I don't think the NBA wants at all for the Jazz or the Pacers especially to end up with the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. Mm-hmm. I think the NBA would not be happy with that because it'd be just another example of, see, and we threw it in your face, you find us, and we didn't give a damn, and we went out and did it anyway, and we got what we wanted.
Right.
Now you're going to make all these changes, but we don't care because we're going to be in the finals.
Right. Well, and that would be a bad look. I mean, look, the league sitting here, and Adam Silver is furious about the tanking stuff, right? And he's going to change it this next year and all this stuff. Then you go see one of these teams that win it, that blatantly have done it for the last month plus, and then they get the pick.
Yeah. I think it would look terrible for the league. Like you said, it would just not look, and the league knows this.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they do indeed rig the draft lottery, if it's completely hand-picked by Adam Silver and all his cronies in the back going,
the minions?
The minions, yes, they're all in robes.
Yeah,
like
they're in robes.
They're
Yeah.
in cult robes holding magical
Like the
ping pong
traders.
balls. Yeah, just like the traders. Exactly. Perfect analogy. What would they want? How would they rig this draft lottery? Because there's, again, in this scenario, Utah, Indiana, and probably Washington are not getting the top picks. The NBA wouldn't want that.
Right. For the reason that I just explained.
Right. In theory, they wouldn't. I don't know if they'd go, Pacers were banishing you to 5 or below, so you lose your draft pick outright. I don't know if
they might do that.
Oh, they would love that.
Maybe they're that cruel. I don't know. I just don't believe that the NBA wants any of those 3 teams in the top. I'll say top 2. Top 3. If one of them sneaks in the top 3, fine.
Are you kidding? If Cam Boozer ended up on the Clippers, oh, they'd be so happy.
Yeah, well, that part is true. But would that mean that they look at what the Sacramento Kings are doing and go, we appreciate you getting Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan that playing time down the stretch, and we appreciate you letting them get to those or encouraging them to get to those milestones while wearing your Kings jersey so you could put your graphic out and then you sat them down afterward. Like, we appreciate that you took way too long to tank. Here's the number 1 overall pick, my child.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they would do
Simba.
that either. The Kings have risen.
But here's the other element of tanking conspiracy theories. They don't want great players to go to awful organizations.
Yes.
Which is the Wemby
Yep.
Spurs argument of the tanking.
Exactly.
Do they want AJ DeBonsa in Sacramento? I don't know.
Probably
Do they
not.
want him in Brooklyn? At least it's New York.
It's
but
New
I don't
York.
know.
Brooklyn's also a pretty well-run organization
it's
for the most
New
part.
York too. It's a big. I don't care that they're the stepchilds there. They're definitely New York still.
Brooklyn might be the winner of this game.
I think the correct answer is we're going for minuscule magical odds again. Oh, Dallas made this huge jump last year. Well, who would it be? Milwaukee at 10?
Disgusting.
Would it be the Warriors at 11? Hey, let's get the
Even
Warriors
more
back in there.
disgusting.
And they could use this number 1 overall pick to trade for Giannis if they want to.
Actually, that's the one.
Would it be Portland, who's this
No.
young, exciting team at 12?
It's still Portland.
This is payback for Chauncey Billups getting arrested.
Miami at 13. Hey, you dealt with all this flack for Bam Adebayo's 80 whatever the hell point game, 83 point game. Here's the number 1 overall pick.
I bet it would be Golden State. And I say that, and everyone is just cringing in their car right now, and they're swearing at their radio. Look, I am not. I would hate every minute of that, but I think it would be because they know that Steph Curry is still there. There's still a little bit of a window with Curry there. That if you get some of your guys healthy next year, and you get that top 1, 2, 3 pick, that they could very well be back as a golden child, no pun intended, kind of, in the mix in the NBA because they love them some Golden State and some Steph Curry.
It just dawned on me while you were saying that. The best case scenario for the NBA might actually be giving Brooklyn or Sacramento the top picks. Because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if, and again, this is a hypothetical that this is all rigged. I don't believe this, but we're having the fun with this for the sake of conversation for people tuning in. If Washington, Indiana, or Utah gets the top 1 or top 2 pick, people are going to lose their minds. If Golden State or Portland or Miami or Charlotte, who have like 1, 1.5, 2% chance at the number 1 overall pick. If they jump up, if you have the Dallas situation happen again this year, everybody's going to loudly scream, "It is rigged, conspiracies." The NBA is just doing this for. So the teams in the middle might very well be like the Kings, the Nets, and Memphis.
Look,
now Memphis been tanking, dude.
Yeah, but
and I don't know if they want to draw. I don't think Memphis would be the choice. I think it'd be the Nets.
It might be.
I think it'd be the Nets solely for the fact that they are a big market.
And get some talent in the East.
And draw some attention to the other New York team. And because, again, it is the top market. And New York isn't it the number 1 market, and LA's too? Or did I switch them around?
It might be the other way around, but
I think New York's 1.
It might be. I just don't know.
Or close.
In terms of media
1,
market?
2, media market.
New York might be 1.
I think New York might be 1. So it doesn't matter when it comes down to it. They always want these big markets to get their people out there, their organizations out there. It's just that's because they have the most money.
Yeah.
The scenario that I'm now rooting for, as we've just listed every team in the lottery, is for the Pelicans pick to jump to number 1 and the Hawks get the first pick, because then everyone's just gonna be like, I don't know what to do with that.
Ew.
Conspiracy?
I
No
saw
conspiracy?
some Atlanta names in here in the chat, in the YouTube chat.
The Pelicans would be
disgusting.
crucified.
Yeah, but
if they did that,
I just feel like everyone would be like, it's like when in the NFL draft, when your team drafts an offensive lineman, you're like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about that. If the Hawks jump to number 1.
Believe me, I know.
Every single year, there's always going to be some people calling for conspiracy theory. Typically, it's the spurned fan who said we had the better odds and we should have won. But this year, I feel like the vast majority, regardless of the outcome, are going to yell at the NBA about what happens on draft lottery day.
100%.
And the question is just what's the lesser of all evils?
Absolutely.
And it might be Brooklyn, although people would say Brooklyn's tanking. It might be Sacramento, although some people are going to say Sacramento's tanking, and why would you do that to AJ?
Yeah.
Sacramento's the universal health care team. Anyone who wants surgery can get it.
If Memphis got it, it's like, well, players don't even want to play there, and now you're giving them that, no matter what happens,
there's going to be a problem.
NBA's this season's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare
for the NBA.
You are 100% right. Whatever happens on that ping pong ball night is going to be met with some sort of what? Conspiracy? Adam Silver did what?
They better plan a very good playoff game, because typically the draft lottery is right before a playoff game.
Right.
They better plan a damn good playoff matchup after that and get to it immediately. And the number 1 pick goes to the Indiana Pacers. Anyway,
and now we're moving on in.
Here's OKC and San Antonio. Bye.
Yep. And let's just forward to the finals.
Yeah, and here's the finals.
Let's get ahead to the finals.
The only way to save the league is giving the Hawks the number 1 pick.
Gross.
Oh, goodness.
Which, by the way, they've already had the number 1 pick, but they had the number 1 pick in the 1 year you don't want the number 1 pick.
Right. And now they're going to get the number 1 pick in the year that everybody wants.
Number 1 pick and just traded for Angel Reese.
I would take that. Well, yeah, Angel Reese is in Atlanta.
She's
now.
already the biggest followed women's basketball player on Instagram.
Did you see how many followers the Chicago Sky lost just for
Are
trading?
you serious?
Oh, yeah. Chicago's getting dumped on.
That's wild.
Because of that trade.
Oh, geez.
I think she kind of low-key requested a trade.
I think she wanted out very much so. That organization. I don't know a lot about Chicago Sky basketball, believe it or not.
Either.
I follow Angel Reese though, because I'm a big fan of Angel Reese.
She's great.
You were one of those people who unfollowed the Chicago Sky.
I never followed to begin with, because I follow Angel Reese.
I'm gone.
I follow Angel. I don't follow the Sky. Might follow the dream, though, a little bit more this WNBA season. We'll take the break. When we come back, I saw a text on the text line from the 530. It's a different 530 number than earlier. It says, it's actually depressing to hear all the negativity about the Kings today. I thought the game yesterday was the best possible outcome for the Kings. Really competitive game. The youth played well down the stretch. They maintained their draft position, blah, blah, blah. They're right. Mm-hmm. The negative conversation actually has nothing to do with the Kings and everything around this nonsense around the Kings, especially when it comes to this intentional foul drama that shouldn't be a thing. In the next segment, we're going to talk about the positivity of how the Sacramento Kings are playing. It's a good, positive conversation, and I think a lot of people in the Kings organization deserve a lot of credit for it. We'll talk about that next. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Innova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Buying golf gear is easy. Buying the right golf gear, well, that's different. At Hagen Oaks, they don't just sell equipment, they fit your entire game. With TrackMan technology in the Player Performance Studio, your clubs are matched to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball that performs best for you. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio dials in your stroke, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds correct shoe size for your feet. It's a smarter way to play better golf. Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Sacramento! Now you've got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
KHD KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back in, Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports. I'm Matt George. Kayla Anderson
I am
with
present.
me. Kayla is present.
I'm present. What did we always say in class?
Here.
Here, when they would do your roll call or whatever it was. Did they mess up your name at all? They would mess up mine.
They would mess up Kayla
Well,
Anderson?
you said
Kyla?
and sometimes the Kyla would come out in these teachers, and I'd have a little bit of a back and forth with them.
But to my
in the moment.
defense, even though you told me if you ever call me that, I'll kill you, and I should have listened to that. In my defense, there was a Kyle on this show, so it was like
at least
a little slip.
It was like the Kyle. Oh wait, I'm with Kayla.
If I were looking at your name,
yes,
on piece of paper, I don't know if I'd see K-A-Y and go Kyla.
I'm telling you, people they look at a name real quick and they whatever's in their head. If Kyla is something that they know better than Kayla, they're gonna say Kyla.
Well, no one ever messed up Matt George. I can promise you that.
Yeah,
now,
you're lucky. You got 2 first names.
I have had. I think it's like shout out to all if anybody from Starbucks is listening right now or works at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Oh, we'd love for you to sponsor the show too.
Yeah, I think it must be a I actually probably could work at Starbucks simply because I just can't spell.
Did you work at a coffee shop ever in your lifetime?
No.
Okay.
I kind of wish I did.
I have not either.
But
wait, one time I will have to tell you the story. I worked at a breakfast place in college. Got to tell you that story one time.
Okay, I need a little more context. What happened?
Well,
like,
let's just say
Kayla
would show up to work.
Oh.
Very hungover. And
Morning, Kayla.
The
Shut
only
up.
reason Kayla kept her job for that long is because Kayla's friends would come in, and Kayla was not a great waitress.
Wait, what?
No, I need this story. Save for the summertime. Story time with Kayla is coming this summer.
Are we calling it Kayla's Summer Corner or something? Or like
I don't know. We'll
gotta
we'll
find a
workshop
funny
it.
name
Get it
for
sponsored by a library. I don't know. Like we'll figure it out. We'll get there.
It's story time.
Sponsored by what's the stuff that you put in your water? Pedialyte or
Liquid IV.
Liquid IV.
Pedialyte is something different.
I know what Pedialyte is. You give it
would-
to your kids, but now it's also made for adults.
We would have to do the segment on Mondays.
Oh yeah.
The weekend hangover recovery.
Right. Now this again is old Kayla. This is not new Kayla.
Yeah, no, Kayla now.
Kayla now is very mature.
Now Kayla's in her late 20s and she's matured.
Ding.
Kyle, that's what makes you the greatest producer of all time.
Brownie points. I don't know
Oh,
where.
wow. Tell Christopher Laud that.
Where I was going with that.
Sorry,
no,
I
it's-
completely derailed you.
I mean, Jay Johnson, you worked with him for so long.
I remember. At Starbucks, like, they misspell names on coffee cups. And, like, Matt, like, I think most people understand Matt is M-A-T-T, right? Yeah. I have seen M-A-T before. Okay, maybe you did it very quickly.
M-A-T?
Yeah, like, maybe you did it very quickly. That one didn't even bother me. I once had a Starbucks drink. I'm not kidding you. And it must have been a bit or a joke. I think they were leaning into the fact that baristas can't spell at Starbucks. Or at least maybe just the Starbucks by my house. M-A-T-T-T.
I'm sorry. That had to have... What is this, like someone with 6, like, fingers?
I don't know. Wait, why would that matter?
Because it's like, it just, when you say M-A-T-T-T, it just makes me think of, like, someone with 6 fingers. 6 fingers.
What?
Why?
I don't know. Like an amphibian. Like, I don't know. Like something weird.
Do you think amphibians have 6 fingers?
No, look, it was just a Kayla random thought moment.
Like a mutant?
You
Like a
know
teenage
that? Yes,
mutant
like
ninja
a
turtle?
mutant. Like a mutant.
Kayla's brain needs to be studied because I think it could cure something.
I think I have the reverse of, like, what football players have to, unfortunately, go through. I have, like, the reverse of it.
You can say reverse CTE.
I have not been knocked in the head as many times as I probably should.
You probably should. You're saying you need to get hit a couple of times to get those brain cells out of there?
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, hey, last night.
Let's see how this segue goes.
There is no segue. There is a positive conversation to be had about the Sacramento Kings, and the way that I am choosing to present it as someone who is very vocally and actively been against the Sacramento Kings winning basketball games. I'm happy that they didn't win last night. I hope that they don't win for the remainder of the season. There's
Are you
2 games
happy
left.
or you're just like, okay, not happy, but you're...
I'm not celebrating.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, we're going to continue on a good path of maybe being in the mix for a top 3 pick.
Like, in my mind, last night's game...
I don't ever want to be happy about a loss.
I guess, man,
You know what
I guess. I guess the best way to put it is last night's game is a lot of how I wish the last month had gone.
Mm-hmm.
Games are competitive. Kings lose. Young guys are primarily playing. That's what I've been asking for a while. Yeah. So in that sense, like, happy Matt. But that's not what I want the conversation to be about.
Sure.
What I want the conversation, or at least from my perspective, how I want to present the conversation, you guys can talk about however you want to, but how I very intentionally want to present the conversation is what we alluded to in the first segment. But for those who weren't listening, I'm watching a group of guys last night that is playing significantly better basketball than certainly at the start of the season, arguably at any point of the season. We've seen flashes, we've seen moments, but in general, the Kings, they look far more comfortable together. They're playing well off of each other. I know they did it last night against the Golden State Warriors, who are the 10th team in the West.
Well, we can't keep saying this.
Right.
We can't keep saying, but it was against this team, it was against it.
Right.
By the way, they have played against decent teams. The New Orleans Pelicans the other night.
Yes.
They're not a poor team.
Right. They did get smacked by the LA Clippers on Sunday, so you could reference that as an argument against what I'm trying to say, but I would turn it around on you and go, but they beat the Clippers in LA a couple of weeks ago, and we were all mad at it. Well, I was mad at it. You guys weren't.
And by the way, DG was there.
Yeah, Darius Garland.
My guy Darius Garland was there.
He played really
That's my
well,
boy.
too. He played really well in that game. The point is, it's a positive way to look at the growth and development and improvement of the Sacramento Kings. But I'm not surprised, Kayla, to see misinterpretation of what I'm saying. This is not a shot at the veterans at the beginning of the season. The Kings played very your turn, my turn basketball to start the season. It was ugly. It didn't work from the beginning. It's why the Kings were terrible to start the year long before they decided to pivot to this youth movement. It did not work. And my problem has always been it's the roster construction. It's not any of these individual players, although some of them certainly didn't play up to the level.
It's how they play together.
It didn't fit. It never worked.
Nope.
We're seeing a group now that, granted, if you want to just simply tie it up to because of all the injuries, they're just getting playing time together. If you want to chop it up to that, then I guess if that's the explanation you want to give, okay, but I feel like that undermines the work that these guys have put into where I'm seeing a far more cohesive basketball team now than we really saw at any point in the season. And that, to me, is a compliment to not just the guys that are currently playing, not just the coaching staff. That's a compliment to the veterans who have been playing to get them to this point.
Right.
It's a good thing. It's not meant to be a negative thing about the beginning of the year.
And I don't think you even have to preface that. I really don't, Matt. And I know some people are gonna have an opinion no matter what. I get that. I get we're in talk radio. It is what it is. But it's funny you brought this up. Because when I was watching the game yesterday, I had that moment in my mind. Now, I've been clear on this show and said, hey, when it comes to Doug Christie, I just am undecided.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't know if I've seen enough out of him. I know that there's been things I don't like, but there's been things I do like. But overall, because of this roster and because of it not working out with the players you have here, in terms of winning games together, it's like an undecided for me. Or what is it when you get a grade that's
incomplete,
kind of,
yeah.
Which, by the way, I never got. But for me, it'd be an incomplete. And then I had like an epiphany last night. And again, that texter who says, oh, we work for the organization and all this stuff, you better be ready for this one.
Oh, here we go. Shill Kayla Anderson.
You better be ready for this one.
Here she comes. Shill. Get ready for that paycheck in the mail from the Kings, Kayla.
Man,
here we go.
I wish I had a little boosted paycheck. That'd be nice from the Kings.
Well, we're in the pocket.
All right, get a little bit of Zach LaVine's money there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send that in the
I
show.
don't think I make too much money. No, I think I get paid more.
Yeah, I don't disagree with him. But when it comes to the epiphany, I was watching these young guys play and all the stuff you just mentioned. I feel like towards the end of the season, I've been enjoying watching Kings basketball more so than I was at the front end of the season. Not because it's this great roster and they're winning every game, but I'm watching the youth play and I'm watching them start to get it. And I'm watching them take cues from, coming in as an organization. I know the defense hasn't been perfect, and that's Doug's thing.
It's been that way since before Doug.
Right. But you have to somehow, some way, give Doug some credit for what is being put out there now.
True.
What's been put out there recently. And what has been put out there for the most part, on any given night, even when we say they should have gotten smacked, you're seeing more competitive basketball. And you're seeing more of a flow on the hardwood. And you're seeing these individual players get it. And they're having, by golly, they're having fun playing out there together. So I was like, you know what? I actually think no matter what, and I know people are not going to like this, I think Doug is here next year. And I think he should be given a chance. Because I feel like with what has been done at the end of the season has been a reflection of coaching, a little bit at least. And I said this when Cam Ward got to the Titans last year and Brian Callahan was the coach. I said, it's probably going to be a disaster to start, but there's improvement. If there is improvement at the end of the year, you give him another chance, right? Well, guess what? It never got better.
Yeah.
And they fired him and he gone.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's that. But in this case, it's gotten better.
I'm Scott Perry. You're Doug Christie. The season just ended. We're sitting down in our office. If Doug, I don't think Scott would ever be this direct, but maybe he is. Maybe he looks at you, Doug Christie, looks you in the eye and says, why do you deserve to continue to be our head coach? Why should we stay the course with you based off what happened this season? What are you bringing up if you're Doug?
I would say that my biggest case for being able to stay here next year is the fact that we have had to take on a youth movement here, whether it be because of injuries or, certain guys we traded, some guys we just really even haven't had most of the season. So I was given the youth, and this was the team I was told to coach, and eventually we got these guys to play together. We brought up some G Leaguers. We gave some contracts to them. By golly, Daquan Plowden has shown that he is playing within this system, and we have won games we're not supposed to win. Hey, Scott, everybody's talking about we should tank, and I said, that's not my philosophy. I believe in wins. I believe in karma, and I got these guys to get behind me and win. Oh, by the way, do you see our veterans on the bench? They're laughing. They're coaching up during timeouts. They could be pouting. They could be leaking stuff to the press about how depressing it is here. I've kept a culture here, Scott. I'd like to continue that when we get a top pick this summer. That's what my reasoning would be. I get, if you're listening, you can completely hate me, and I understand that you think, that's a soft take. I'm speaking from what I feel, and I don't make up anything, and I don't say anything I don't believe. So that's just my perspective, and I know and I respect other people's perspectives that have been Kings fans for their entire life as well.
There are 100% arguments for why the Kings should move on.
Absolutely.
The number one argument that I have for why the Kings should move on from Doug Christie is if Scott Perry feels that there is somebody out there right now that is better for the development of not just the young guys currently, but especially whichever guy walks across that stage and puts a draft hat on.
I don't disagree with that.
You make the move.
Yep.
Like, that's the number one argument for it.
Is there anyone right now? I'm throwing it out there because
I have no idea. We've talked about the connection that Perry has had in the past to Tom Thibodeau. Obviously, Michael Malone is off the table now, going to North Carolina. I was always skeptical if Michael Malone would ever come back to Sacramento. So there's an argument out there.
There's got to be someone he's very in love with in terms of bringing him here.
And there's plenty from this season to point to from a first-time head coach that mistakes that Doug has made. No one's pretending that Doug has been perfect. If I were Doug and Scott Perry asked me the same question that I just asked you, which is like, why? I have three things. Number one, you already talked about the development of the young guys.
Yep.
You cannot tell me that from Neek to Max to Dylan.
Cardwell said the other night.
To Devin to Daquan. You cannot tell me that all of those young guys, Killian had some great moments
Killian
last
had
night.
a great night, by the way.
You cannot tell me that all of those guys have not improved. Now, if you want to undermine me being Doug Christie, if you want to undermine me by saying that all that happened simply because they got a bunch of playing time, then what you're telling me is coaching doesn't even matter to begin with then. Then you could hire Joe Schmo off the street and all they have to do is play these guys 35 minutes a night and they will get better. If that's what you believe, then I question whether or not you should be a general manager. That's argument number one. That's point number one I'm making. Point number two is what we are talking about in this segment. This team, from an X's and O's standpoint, has improved with how they've played, and they've done it with less talent. There is no question that the Kings playing now are less talented than the roster at the start of the season. No question. Again, $153 million of salary did not play last night. There's no question that group that's sitting out is more talented than the group that's playing, but the group that's playing is playing better basketball overall because, in general, talent isn't everything. Fit matters.
Yeah.
And fitting together and players understanding their roles, understanding the identity or the standard, as Doug likes to talk about, clearly that message has gotten more across to these guys now than it did at the beginning of the season. So that's an argument in favor of Doug Christie. The final argument is this. Where are you trying to go? This year was the evaluation year for Scott Perry. Well, you've evaluated where you need to go as a franchise, which is you need to start this rebuild. And the two most important parts of next season are developing your young talent and continuing to play as an identity. Those are the two things that Doug Christie has done the best this season out of everything. Again, it's not a perfect argument. He's not the perfect coach. But the two best areas of Doug's season, when we're looking at it from 10,000 feet, the two best things about this season from Doug Christie as a head coach are the exact things you need to start this rebuild.
Yep.
We can talk about playoffs later on and cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think Doug has a more than compelling argument for why he should keep his job. And Scott Perry, if he's evaluating everything this year, I'll tell you what number one takeaway should be for Scott Perry. Wow, I should probably construct a roster that actually fits these pillars and makes sense together.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of talented individuals that might pick each other at the YMCA or play together in the Drew League.
And I think you look at this roster too, Matt, and you say, okay, at the beginning of the year when we had all of these veterans playing, maybe Doug is just a better developmental coach and having some raw pieces and building his team from that than he is having all these veterans come in and trying to learn it his way.
Yeah.
And that kind of is what it was. And maybe that just didn't work.
Yeah.
I think they respect Doug, but I think it's hard to change, like teach a dog new tricks.
Yeah.
You got all these dogs that are used to their tricks. Levine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook. Like they all are used to doing what they do. They're all over 30 years old. They've been in the league for a long time.
Yeah, you're not changing them.
You're not changing them. But with the youth, I think what he's been able to show is that I can be this kind of coach. And this is the kind of coach you need right now. You need the raw development, and then I can mold them into what I want them to be.
And some people develop differently, and that includes Doug Christie when we're talking about him developing as a head coach, because Doug will tell you all the time, in Sacramento, as a player, that's where he learned to play basketball. And that team grew and developed organically together. So it would, in theory, make sense that Doug would do a better job or be better developing and growing a group together than plug and playing a bunch of players that have had phenomenal careers. And again, this is not a negative veteran conversation. It is just a circumstance situation. It is a problem that Doug Christie and Scott Perry both inherited based off of the decisions of the last regime and ownership. Right? This roster was poorly constructed from the beginning. That should be the number one takeaway from this season. And hopefully we were bad enough at the right time to get the right pick to really turn this franchise around. Right? That should be the takeaway from this year. But the argument for Doug is in the areas that matter now short-term to the Sacramento Kings, those were my biggest strengths from this year. That, to me, is more than a compelling enough argument for him to keep his job. Unless, of course, Scott Perry feels there's somebody out there that is better right now than Doug is to handle those responsibilities. If that person exists, then go out and get him, and we trust you as the GM.
And that there's a lot of trust. There's a long checklist for Scott. There's a lot of trust when it comes to Scott. And I know that's a lot for people to be like, yeah, that's a lot for us to believe in when nothing's been proven in the past in this organization. I completely understand what you're saying.
Yep.
Even though I haven't been here boots on the ground, I understand. I've heard stories. My sister-in-law lives here. Like, I know you guys have been through a lot, and you have to prove it to you as a Kings fan.
Sure.
But when it comes to if Scott really does have that person that he truly feels like is out there, you 100% have to make the move at the end of the year or, before next year. You're right. Because if he has a shadow of a doubt that it's not Doug, you don't keep the Band-Aid like flapping. You got to you got to rip it off.
Yeah. And I just don't think that's where we're at. But we'll see. That'll be a problem and a conversation for the offseason that begins very soon. There are 2 games left for the Kings. Friday against the Warriors here in Sacramento. That's the final home game. And they wrap up the season in Portland. Pool Guy Mark wants to jump in on the conversation. What up, Pool Guy Mark?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good, that's good. I just kind of think it's fun that or not fun, but to me it seems like, competent organizations, they hire the GM and the GM hires his coach. The fact that we kind of did it backwards is concerning. But, to me, it's like I like Doug. I think he should stick with them when they talk about creating a culture, creating stability and everything else, to fire your coach, after 1 year would just, just kind of throw that all out the window to me. And then you have, they have organizations that's trying to win every game right now, and I know Doug's been kind of a proponent of that. And then all of a sudden to fire a coach who's winning these games that most people, who want the Kings to be good long-term to lose would just be like completely, just a dysfunctional. To me, if they fire Doug, it just feels like more of the dysfunctionality with this organization. I hope they keep him give them at least a couple of years, maybe 3 years, and, kind of see where they're at. If they get to the playoffs and Doug's not kind of the guy that can take them further, then maybe, go a different direction. But if they're going to make a move, they should have made it when they hired the GM in the first place, not now.
I agree with Mark completely there, and shout out Pool Guy Mark for the phone call. I agree 100%. Now, the fear of the backlash and the short-term PR hit should not stop you from making the necessary move. And I don't think it will in this sense. But Mark's point is very valid. If you want to convince not just the league, if you want to convince your fan base that you're any different as an organization, a bad way of doing that is to immediately fire the guy that there's still speculation about whether or not he was your full hire in the first place. And that's not based off of anything Scott Perry has done. That's based off of the history of the organization, because Vivek Ranadive hired Michael Malone before he hired Pete D'Alessandro. Vivek Ranadive, from what we understand, I think the Kings strongly encouraged Monty McNair to keep Luke Walton around because financially there was a lot of money owed to Luke Walton at a time where organizations weren't swimming in a lot of cash because everybody was recovering from COVID. And then the Kings fired they fired Luke Walton very soon after that, right? Like, this has happened before. So this is something that the organization or the fan base needs to see to believe. I get that 100%. So that shouldn't stop Scott from making the decisions that he needs to make. And I think Scott has proven with the Keon Ellis deal, with making Malik Monk available, he's not afraid to make moves that need to be made in his mind that might not be popular. I think he's been clear about that.
Do you think he wanted to, do you think that was good on him in terms of look-wise to trade Schroeder? Like, no, it wasn't. But
it was an admission of guilt.
It was an admission of guilt. Yeah. As much as you're going to get from a general manager without saying it, it was an admission of guilt.
Javier, we're going to get you really quick because we're transitioning out of basketball conversation to baseball and beyond that. So let's get you really quick to wrap up the segment. You can send us to break, Javier. What's up?
I was asking you a question because this is complete nonsense. He's talking about Doug Christie played to a standard. What standard? When are they going to play 94 feet? When are they going to make them win the fight and win the game? And that's just completely illogical. They're 28th in defense. What standard are you talking about?
The standard. So Javier, I appreciate the call. We don't have a ton of time for this to go to break. I understand Javier's question. I understand his frustration because I felt that same frustration too. Clearly, how Doug Christie coached the Sacramento Kings to start the season, how Doug Christie is coaching the Kings now is completely different. Doug had his expectations. We saw him blow up at a press conference a handful of weeks into the season because the team was clearly not bought into and playing the way that he expected them to play based off of what happened in training camp. And then injuries happened. In reality, that to me has nothing to do with coaching. That has everything to do with the roster construction, which we knew was flawed from the beginning. It turned out to be flawed. And now that this team currently makes a little more sense in terms of being cohesive, you have rim protection, you have some shooting, you have a little bit of point guard play, you have at least more bodies as of late that are getting more comfortable playing together. You're seeing a team that's playing more to that standard that Doug Christie and Scott Perry have talked about. But yes, there needs to be more, to Javier's point. You need to see more.
And part of that just comes with, in terms of his defense and what he envisions, he needs the players to execute that too in terms of whoever comes in. You got to start bringing in guys who that is something that they know what to do or how to do it. He doesn't have to just teach veterans old or new tricks in terms of that.
Javier, if you're listening, I apologize for having to cut you off because we're up against the break. You are not being silenced. There's a lot of people that feel the exact same way that you do, and it's a very, very logical conversation and point when debating whether or not Doug Christie should continue to be the head coach of the Sacramento Kings going forward. But for now, we're going to press the pause button on the Sacramento Kings because we have to check in on our MLB mini seasons because the champ over here doesn't have her trophy. And the champ is in good shape right now to keep hold of that trophy, at least early on. We'll run you through our MLB mini seasons before we get to pick a side. Plus, if we have time, we have to talk about the MLB's watchability index, according to ESPN, and why the Giants and A's aren't as watchable as we thought they would be. We'll take the break. It's Matt Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Drew Brees here. Whether you're on the field or on the road, having the right team on your side makes all the difference. I learned that the hard way. On the field, you don't go anywhere without a solid O-line. And when your car breaks down, you want that same kind of protection. That's why I trust CarShield. Their protection plans help you tackle expensive repairs so that you're not blindsided.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Augusta National's 11th, 12th, and 13th holes are called Amen Corner, attributed as writer Herbert Warren Wynn christened it such in describing the way Arnold Palmer had played those holes in a somewhat miraculous manner. Heavy rains in 1958 prompted a local rule allowing a lift and drop for an embedded ball. When Palmer hit his ball over the 12th green and the ball embedded, the official and Palmer agreed that the ball should be played as it lay, but that Palmer could play a second ball, which he dropped. He holed out for a 5 with the first ball and a 3 with the second. When he was playing 15, he was told his drop at 12 was proper, leading to his first Masters victory. Wynn's inspiration for Amen Corner came from a jazz record titled Shouting in Amen Corner. The center of the Bible manufacturing in the 1900s was in Lower New York City, which became a popular spot for sidewalk preachers to preach old-time religion. The many amen shouts heard each day led to the term Amen Corner. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
We're going to switch to baseball here, but I just got this email that the Sacramento Kings, it's a media advisory, the Sacramento Kings are on Friday, April 10th, the final home game of the year, in addition to it being the six-man game. They do it at the end of the year to celebrate the fans and thank the fans for a fantastic season. The Sacramento Kings are also going to recognize DeMar DeRozan's NBA achievements on that particular night. It's a celebration to take place during the six-man celebration.
Oh, that's cool.
Fans will receive a special edition DeMar DeRozan poster.
Nice.
Now, the Kings,
So,
much earlier
is he
in the
playing?
season... That's a good question?
Because we pretty much just said, well, we think that DeMar might be done for the season.
That's a really interesting question.
So now I'm like, I kind of feel like he's going to play now.
He's definitely going to play.
Well,
yeah.
So now
he's kind of, you gotta have to play, right?
That was the other interesting thing in that Giannis story from yesterday is like Giannis wants to play the last Bucks home game because he knows it's going to be his last home game in Milwaukee. Same kind of idea here? Question mark.
Okay.
Interesting.
So now the tanking Matt George comes back out because that game.
Here he comes.
No, hold on. That game already made me
Gemini in him.
nervous because the Kings have 2 days rest. The Warriors are on the second night of a back-to-back after playing the Lakers on Thursday.
But it's poster day, Matt.
Oh,
Kings are going to
gosh.
win that game, aren't they?
Kings
are going to win.
Yeah.
They're going to beat the Warriors in the Golden
Yeah.
One Center, and that's how they're going to end their season. They're going to win.
Yeah.
Honestly, good for them if
Whatever.
they do.
Whatever, man.
I mean, at least the fans that want to see wins are going to maybe get their wish if they win.
Bring your nephews to the game.
Right?
I'll see another
I'm
win.
out of town, man.
But this is the one now, because here's the thing. Brooklyn gave them the win they needed, because now if Brooklyn beats the Pacers tomorrow, we got a 3-way tie.
And then how does that happen?
So the way it works is they split all the lottery odds and then do a 3-way coin flip.
Yeah. It's a mess. It's a mess.
My God.
The odds
A
themselves are less
three-way
important than the
coin flip?
Yeah. It's the mess. It's just a mess.
That sounds like amateur hour.
A 3-sided coin.
Well, it's not a coin. It's just an electronic
Well, I know,
thing.
but still.
Heads, the Nets get it. Tails, the Jazz get it. If it lands
the
perfectly
side?
on its
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
the Kings
get it.
Well, the Kings are screwed.
You guys remember like when you were a kid and you would do 3-way rock, paper, scissors? What if they just do like 3-way rock, paper, scissors? And
That's fine.
The first winner gets the 3 pick, and then the other 2 have to play for the 4 pick.
Perfect. I love rock,
That's
paper,
a game
scissors.
called. There's a game like that that's
Wait,
called.
let's do it really quick.
Well, no, not 3-way rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
called
let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's real
drawing.
quick.
No, it doesn't
Why
work.
not?
Because the way you do it is not 3-way. Because then someone could pick rock, someone picks paper, someone picks scissors,
Yeah,
and
but
it
that's
doesn't
a
work.
tie. That's like when everyone picks paper.
So
it's
you're
a
saying
3-way
it would
tie.
go on forever?
Well, not necessarily.
No,
but
you need
there's
2 people to pick the same thing and 1 person to pick the wrong or right one.
It's a game called drawing. It's called sticks, but I think other people call it fingers. It's where you put
Hangman?
you put your hand behind your back, and 3 people. You either put 1 finger up or 2 fingers up.
Oh.
And if whoever is the one lone
What if it was
person-
1 finger?
I know what you're getting at. If you're gonna flip me off, you mean
Well, I'm
doing it below the camera? Yeah, careful there.
Yeah,
Careful
remember
there.
when Matt tried to do that last time?
Yeah, that didn't work out. For
Putting
me.
a picture below the
I
camera.
never
I did
flipped
that in a
anybody
break
off.
once in Nashville. And
Oops.
people were still watching, and they screen captured it.
Uh-oh. I bet it was funny.
It was.
So are we going to do this 3-way rock, paper, scissors?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Oh wait, who's who though? What organization are you?
Who do you
representing?
want?
I
well,
want
I
the
feel
Kings.
I feel like I should take the Jazz.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
You're the pacer.
No.
You like jazz?
I'm the net. No.
No.
It's the
I'm
Nets,
the
the
Nets.
Kings.
I'm the Nets. So
Okay.
you're the Kings.
Yeah.
I'm the Nets.
I'm the
and
Kings.
This is so stupid. All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3, shoot, or
Rock-
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, on shoot.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh
No,
shoot.
this is why it doesn't work. This is radio. What are we doing? All right.
All right. Rock,
paper,
paper, scissors, shoot. What did Kayla do? I can't see.
She did
Paper.
paper. So
And we have 2 scissors.
you lose.
So you're the 5th pick.
Sorry guys. Sorry Kings fans.
Okay, so Matt, now me and you have to do it for the 3 pick. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Tied. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I gotcha.
no, I have the 4th pick.
So
Wow, that was great.
the Jazz get the
See,
3
we
pick
get a
and the
feel
Nets get
for
the 4
it.
pick
We get a feel for it. I was very depressed
Fun radio.
knowing I got the 5 spot.
for the Kings
Mm-hmm.
specifically. But none of this is going to matter because the Kings are going to win on Friday on DeMar DeRozan poster day, and they'll be locked into the 5th best odds anyways.
That's not a good thing.
But that is weird that that's now a thing because DeMar, I truly did feel was going to probably
Yeah, I wonder if it's
sit the rest of the season.
I wonder if it's going to be DeMar's last game as a King.
Oh.
Or last. It could
Yeah.
very well be. Now, the Kings earlier in the season did do like an homage to Russell Westbrook night, but it was like midway through the season. So they've done
Yeah.
stuff like this before to honor other veterans. So, but it's interesting
Yeah,
that this
it
is
is
the timing
interesting.
that they're using.
And the first thing that came to my head, I don't know if this is true or not, but the first thing that came to my head is like, is this going to be DeMar's last game, like, period?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No.
is he going to retire?
no, not no
There's
way.
no way he's retiring.
No way.
I hope not.
Like, I don't think so,
I'd
but
say
I hear
probably
that.
Russ
and I'm
would
like,
before him.
No, I don't think either of them are retiring. But I don't know.
Russ
DeMar's-
needs to coach, man.
That would be a DeMar decision, obviously. There's no reason to believe that he's ready to go. He loves this
God,
game.
that sounds so.
He's ready to retire.
So dark. He's ready to go. It's his last breath.
Okay, Miss euthanizing a horse or whatever your analogy was.
That's what they do in horse racing.
I know, it's horrible.
I don't condone that at all.
No, but you specifically were
Hey,
sometimes you just got to ride the horse until you euthanize.
You need to be quiet. I was talking about Kristen McCaffrey there, a.k.a. Ranch.
She is the champ after all. She is the reigning
by protest.
World Series champion. You've changed your tone because when I wasn't here, I watched the show. You were on Kayla's side, and now that I'm here, you're not on Kayla's side anymore because you're protected.
No, here's the thing though, Matt. Like I made a decision for the show, which was
Take a snapshot.
If you were in Kayla's chair right now and having to defend your title every time by protest,
You would
be doing the same thing.
Oh, of course I would.
You'd be saying,
Of course I would.
And I'd be saying by protest, and you'd be like, no, it's not by protest.
Well, Kayla Anderson's off to a great start in defending her miniseries title. We all lost on Monday, so we're all 0-1 to start the week. Yesterday, Kayla had the Yankees beating the A's, and because of the freaking bullpen, A's! How can we not find a single arm that's capable of defending the
Because you
lead?
gave your arm away.
Why? Buy a new one.
I mean, they still have Mason Miller at least.
Can anybody protect the lead?
No.
What is happening?
That's why you need pitching.
How the starting pitchers pitched 19 innings at this point?
Well, we'll get that today. It's checks notes. Luis Severino on the mound.
There you go.
Freaking heck.
Matt, they should call you in.
No. Well, I'd probably do a better job.
you might.
Throw a 50-mile-per-hour fastball and somehow find a way to win. Freaking A's bullpen. Anyway, the A's lost to the Yankees. They blew a lead. They gave up 4 runs in the 8th inning, I believe.
Woof. Woof.
So Kayla gets the win. Yay, you. I took Tariq Skubal and the Detroit Tigers over the Minnesota
I'm
Twins.
telling you, Skubal is boobling.
Scooby Dooby Doo-Doo is more like it because he sucked.
Karma's a what? Oh, yeah. Karma because of the World Baseball Classic? Oh, yeah, Scooby. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah, you should have helped us win a title for Team USA, you Scooby-Doo.
It's the year Karma, Scooby.
Yeah.
I just realized we've each picked Skubal either for him or against him, and we've each lost every time.
Yeah, the Tigers lost to the Twins 4-2 yesterday. Stupid kitties. And then Kyle went with his Finns over the Cincinnati Reds and his Marlins and Sandy
Alcantara.
I always want to say Alcantara, which is not even close to
Oh, you
true.
should have heard me with Encarnacion the other day.
You just said it perfectly.
I know,
Yes,
but it wasn't perfect
No,
to start. Yeah.
It butchered.
Very bad.
The Miami Marlins lost to the Cincinnati Reds 6-3.
Did you guys see how that game ended?
No, I don't watch the Marlins because I have something better to do with my life.
Appointment TV for him.
Sandy pitched 8 shutout innings.
Oh!
Yeah, he's been pitching
They
really
sent
well.
him out for the 9th up 2-0.
Are you kidding?
They had runners on second and first with 1 out. They pulled Sandy, went to the bullpen.
No.
It was 2-1. Runner on third, 2 outs, and a wild pitch tied the game.
Are you... Okay, yeah.
Brutal. If you just left Sandy in the game, you would have won.
He's been like your guy this year to be excited about.
Sandy, I think the runs went against him in that game, but up to that point, Sandy had pitched 27 shutout innings to start the season.
That's crazy. And they let him down.
So Kyle gets the L, I get the L. We're both 0-2. Kayla is 1-1 defending her trophy. My overall record 4-6. Kayla's overall record also 4-6. Kyle drops to 3-7. So in terms of our Wednesday teams, Kyle and I desperately need a win. I'm taking the Chicago Cubs over the Tampa Bay Rays today. That is my game that I am choosing.
Okay.
Kayla and Kyle.
What?
Kayla, you have the Dodgers, the
okay.
Mets, and the Red Sox to choose from.
Yeah, the Red Sox are up 3-0, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
so I
can't
can't
take that one.
Well, no, that's not true, because if I said I'm going to take the Brewers down 3-0 right now, you would let me take them.
Well, yeah, because that's you being dumb. That's a dumb decision.
So
by
who
you.
do I have?
You have the Dodgers and the Mets, essentially. You can't take the Red Sox because they're already playing.
Okay. I don't think the Dodgers play. Oh, yeah, they do. Oh. Okay. And then the Mets?
Correct.
Ooh.
The Mets.
I don't think they're playing. So I've got to take the Dodgers.
And who are the Dodgers playing?
Oh, no, the Mets are playing the Diamondbacks. Give me the Mets.
Okay, Kayla.
Give me the Mets.
You're going to pick against the Diamondbacks again?
Yep, because it's karma's or whatever. That's my theme for this.
All right,
this
Kayla.
year.
Kayla's got the Mets versus the Diamondbacks. Kyle, you can pick from the Brewers if you want. The Phillies, who take on the Giants, or the Padres,
Who are up 4-2 right now.
Oh, so you can't pick them.
Unless you guys are willing to.
No.
But, okay. So,
so you going Phillies?
Yeah, Phillies over the Giants.
All right. So I have the Cubs versus the Rays today. Kayla's got the Mets versus the D-backs, and Kyle has the Phillies versus the Gigantes. How much time do we have? Do we have time for me to talk about this? Nope,
Oh, no.
We got a break. Darn it. Well, talk about this watchability index another
Our
day.
three-way rock, paper, scissors messed up.
Oh, shocking that didn't go well.
Whoops.
We'll take the break. When we come back, it is time to pick a side. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Hey there, it's Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, Mr. Mark Hoffman.
Many of us will agree that the subject of tipping while traveling is a touchy subject. One part of the tipping process has come to the attention of those of us doing the tipping. I want to set the record straight today. Regardless of the percentage of the bill you choose to tip on, one thing is not up for discussion. The tip should be calculated on the pre-tax amount of the bill. If the food or service bill comes to $50 and then there is $5 in tax added, you should be tipping on the $50 amount, not $55. You have to be on alert, particularly in restaurants. Those credit card machines you're handed are often set to encourage you to tip on the full amount of the bill, including tax. That, my friend, is wrong, and a way of getting just a few more pennies out of your pocket.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sunday baseball just got way more fun. Join Dinger's Kids Club with the Sacramento Rivercats. For just $35 all season, kids get a ticket to every Sunday Rivercats home game and tons of fun all season long. Sign up today at rivercats.com.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
We've had some spicy conversations and debates already on today's show. Why don't we keep that going and pick a side, huh? Hold on. Microphone. We need that button to work. We need to fix that. Kayla's going to keep pressing it until that mic turns on.
Are you in your PBJ voice?
Oh, that's the Allen Styles PBJ.
Yeah.
Let's get spicy.
By
Shot
the
of
way,
Styles.
playing Thursday in the G League Championship.
Yeah, that's right. Game
I
one.
think it's tonight.
Or is it tonight?
I thought it was Thursday.
No, it's tonight because
it is?
game
Okay.
2 is in or Stockton on Friday.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, game 1 tonight.
What?
Good luck to the boys.
They're doing the G League final on DeMar DeRozan poster night?
Mm-hmm.
Controversy.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Drama. It's time to pick a side, Kyle. What we got?
Pick a side number one. The Big Ten won the championship this year in college football, college basketball, and men's college basketball and women's college basketball.
Woo. Big time.
So,
Big Ten.
Has the Big Ten overtaken the SEC as the number one conference?
Kayla is nodding aggressively towards the camera, so I'm just gonna...
I had to spend 8 years and then 2 years in my early baby career talking to SEC. Now look, in all seriousness, great football, great sports. Fans love their sports down there. I love it. However, I got so sick of talking about SEC. They have all their slogans. Greg Sankey gets all the praises. They don't care about any of us over here. They don't care about the Big Ten. So I am going to tell you right now, with those 3 championships in those major sports, I'm going to tell you right now, Greg Sankey and the SEC, that yes, the Big Ten has overtaken the SEC as the best and most dominant conference.
Okay, listen. Big Ten, you've had one decent year, okay? Over in the SEC, which I have no affiliation to, but for the sake of this segment, I'm going to be on their side because I think it's fun.
No, you don't want
The SEC, man, we talk about King of the Mountain. All you peasants trying to climb up. You get 1 year, you top us. 1 year, now you're starting to talk all bad wearing your Washington State hoodie and looking at the camera. Team SEC.
Well, I'm actually Pac-12, and I'm mad at everybody who went to the Big Ten. But anyway, that's a conversation
So
for
are you
another
also
day.
anti-Big 12?
No, kind of, because Arizona and Arizona State went there.
Utah and Colorado.
And Utah.
Although Utah and Colorado.
I don't like any of you.
Utah.
What?
But in all seriousness.
Utah. Kayla doesn't like Utah.
I do think the Big Ten, though, has made a statement winning those big 3 championships.
Mm-hmm.
And in football, they have been right there with the SEC in the last couple of years.
Well, they've won it 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Because it was Michigan, it was Ohio State, and now it's Indiana.
Just wait.
Dwayne disagrees with me.
We'll be back.
Dwayne says the SEC is still number 1. And of course, don't forget about Oklahoma softball. Yes, Oklahoma softball is, well, they're like on their own. They're like their own conference. Like, no one can touch Oklahoma
No, they
softball.
belong to the SEC.
I mean, they bought the Big 12.
It just means more. That's their slogan.
Is that their slogan?
That's their slogan.
So
So
lame.
that's why I'm annoyed, because
Wait,
it really does get talked about every time they do a commercial.
I rescind my argument.
Just means
You don't
more.
see these commercials all the time
No,
with the SEC?
I ignore conference slogans. I rescind my argument. SEC sucks because of that slogan.
I got shunned for talking about teams over here by my co-hosts.
Oh, so if you talk about like a Big Ten team or a Pac-12 team, you'd get
They'd
How dare!
They just wouldn't want to hear me.
So
Even though I was making arguments that pertain to players that came over to play in the SEC or coaches that, because I follow the West Coast, clearly being from here. So I was making points and I still got shunned.
So if the SEC, like those teams were eliminated in any major sport, they just stopped talking about that sport?
I mean, we didn't give it as much attention.
Also, we don't care anymore.
You're like, oh, I had to cover the SEC for 8 years. It was technically Vanderbilt, you know?
No, Tennessee.
Ah, that's right. But Vanderbilt is Vanderbilt really SEC? I mean, come on.
Don't tell them after this year. Their sports are on the
up.
rise.
On the up and up.
Oh, yeah.
TV money.
They look good.
Pick a side number 2. We got a third Geno Auriemma apology.
Not Geno Smith.
Geno Smith had to apologize. Sorry, I
For
knew I
going
was
to the
going to do that at
Jets.
some point too. Geno Auriemma had to apologize a third time for
Dang.
this Dawn Staley thing. Matt, you weren't here. We talked about it a bunch on
Oh,
Monday.
no, I remember.
But
I was very disappointed I wasn't here, but I really enjoyed the segment.
do we
you like
think
my
that this
yelling at
third apology was genuine?
I did like you yelling at him.
I know.
Because I think that was he deserved to be yelled at. I don't think it's worth him apologizing 3 times over. I think the reason why Geno is apologizing 3 times is because he's genuinely embarrassed by it. Because in my mind, this was a complete heat of the moment thing. He was frustrated because he just lost on a massive stage.
Yeah.
And he's coaches are competitors, just like the players are on a different level, but we are very competitive, very fiery. In that moment, he made a decision that he probably very much regrets in the heat of the moment. So yes, I do think this is 100% genuine. It's authentic. It doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve the criticisms like what Kayla gave him on Monday for the incident, because it looked bad and a lot of people saw it. But Nobody's more embarrassed about it than him, clearly, with all these apologies. I don't think he has to apologize anymore. This is professional sports. This stuff happens. And in general, a lot of people low-key kind of liked it. So I think it's fine.
I just didn't like it because it took away from the actual national championship.
And that's what Gino said.
Yeah, and we know for a fact it did. Look, Gino, I'll give him his flowers. It is hard to be that good of a coach. And there's not a lot of coaches that can do what he's done. I mean, it's incredible. And he clearly has a polarizing personality, and he does a lot of stupid stuff, and he's stubborn. And I think that's where he messed up in this thing. Like, not only did he make the mistake, but then he was stubborn about it, right? Yeah. Not mentioning Don's name the first apology. And so sometimes we all lose ourselves, but eventually he found his way back to being like, okay, this does not help the game. It does not help the women's game to continue to be stubborn and to not apologize for something I did. So I take it as a genuine apology too from Gino.
You know, when we left the show on Monday, I remembered one thing about that we didn't bring up, which is like, okay, so much of women's basketball is about like the game itself needs to be prioritized because there's such a small window of time where like general attention actually cares about your sport.
Yeah.
And like Dawn Staley, it's a difference between like Dawn in the moment saying, I'm not going to take away from UCLA, and Gino having to retroactively apologize for doing it. Like those two things mean differently. But like Gino liked the way college basketball used to be because it used to be that UConn was bigger than the sport and they would get all the top recruits and go on all the like Gino probably likes the old system of how the sport worked.
He's kind of a poor loser in a way.
Yeah.
Don't you think? In a way
For
he
sure.
is. Scooter's like, I don't think that he regrets it at all.
He's kind of saying the buzzwords of like taking away from the sport, which is important, but I don't think Gino cares about it in the same way that these other people do.
If we don't have time for all these, we've got to get to something I just added in there, and I'll tell you why I put it in there.
Fuego?
Yes.
Is this real?
Yes.
There's Fuego Skittles.
Yes. So
Spicy
I'm
Skittles.
at the gas station this morning.
Also, before you say this, I'm in. I don't care what it is. Yes.
What? Okay.
But now explain.
I'm at the gas station, and you know when I fill in these things, a lot of it is like sports stuff, but a lot of it is also just random stuff that happens to me that I think would be funny to put on the show. So I'm pumping gas, and they do this commercial. You know, they have the little TV screens. They do this commercial of Skittles now Fuego. And I literally looked at it, and I go, is this a joke? And it was showing the Skittles Gummies Fuego, the Skittles Fuego, just the hard Skittles Fuego. And I was like, this has got to be, you're ruining Skittles.
So it's spicy Skittles.
It is spicy Skittles that have just launched. I am so not about this, guys.
I love...
Keep me far, far away.
I love Skittles. Like, it's my favorite candy.
I know you do.
I love spicy stuff. I was a late bloomer to spice. Now I love spicy stuff, even though my spice tolerance is still lame.
I'm a baby.
But I love spicy stuff. Hell no.
I did want to put it on it specifically because I know would give me an honest answer.
You
gross
have ruined Oreos with all of your catastrophic experiments. Don't touch my Skittles.
And Reese's, they've done these cups now with all this nonsense.
Yeah, don't be ruining my Skittles.
No, I just Googled
right?
it. I'm so in on this.
No. Gross.
It's like those Mexican candies you get. No. They got mango and lemon and raspberry.
This is
it's like tahini sauce on it.
This is a Jason Ross thing. Jason is going to bring these in for us to try.
Does he like them?
Oh, I don't know, but Jason always likes to have us try weird stuff. This is for sure something that Jason is going to get his hands on and make us try.
Oh no.
And I don't know.
Mango Fuego Skittle. I'm so in on.
Get some help. Get some help.
This is everything I want in the world.
Well,
maybe you are going to bring him in. Then.
You need to have a different outlook on life because we can find better things.
Matt says, "Don't mess with my Skittles.
Don't touch the skids.
Don't touch my Skittles.
Don't touch my little skids. My skid.
Your skid.
My skidizzles.
Your skid mark.
Really? Kayla is the youngest of us all in terms of brain. We'll take a break. When we come back, Kayla will gather herself for the lunch break. We will explore another hypothetical. Stop it. We will explore.
It was a good.
No, it was not. Joke. No, it wasn't. We will explore another hypothetical. What if? Will you knock it off and be a professional?
I haven't seen her laugh this hard in the entire existence.
I'm taking my trophy back. Trying so hard we've played 3-way rock paper scissors on this freaking show.
But when you just kept saying
my skidzizzles, my skittles,
skid.
my skids, my skizizzles, not skid mark, you psycho. What if the Kings fell to 8?
She's crying
I know,
laughing.
she is. She needs
Look
help.
at my eyes.
What if the Kings fall to 8 in the draft lottery? What do they do? And
I'm gonna cry, too.
How does it change things? You might cry
I'm gonna
for.
laugh
I'm
so
gonna cry.
hard I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna laugh
because
You're
I'm so just emotionally drained that I'm gonna laugh and then I'm gonna cry like I am right
if the
now.
Kings fall to 8 and you laugh, I'm going to crash out because I am
then
not
he's
going to
gonna give me my first concussion.
I'm not gonna. Well, I'm not. Whoa! I'm not gonna do nothing.
I actually am going to laugh.
This show is off the rails. We'll take the break and we'll explore the hypothetical of what would happen if the Kings fell to 8th in the draft lottery, and my co-hosts will grow up a little bit. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITVFest.com.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hoblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hoblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobletdodge.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
Yes, indeed, it is time for the lunch break. If you want to call in and be a part of the show like Pool Guy Mark and Javier did earlier in the show, you can do so. 916-339-1140. You can also text that number if you'd like to be a part of the show via the text line. And, of course, shout out to all our YouTubers out there, everybody in the comment section on YouTube. We appreciate your support over there. Interesting conversation that we're about to have in regards to the Sacramento Kings because, well, draft lottery odds can go positively or negatively. And we've talked a lot about the positive side of things, where if the Kings got number 1, it's AJ. If the Kings got number 2, who would they go? Caleb Wilson. Would they go? And we've talked about the top of the draft because that's a lot more fun.
It is.
If the Kings were to fall, let's say to 8,
Mm-hmm.
eight's the number. 8's that spot.
That's a tough spot, by the way.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be very frustrated on Mother's Day too, which will make my wife very happy.
Have you put a game plan together for that, by the way?
I've already apologized profusely, and it doesn't matter. It's like, babe, I'm so sorry. At the end of your day, I'm gonna have to sit in front of a computer and a camera and talk about whatever happens, and I'm gonna either be in a great mood or I'm going to be a mess.
Your emotions are going to be either here
and
or
you're
there.
going to be sitting there holding a 4-year-old going, somehow my husband is more of a child than this 4-year-old.
Meanwhile, Matt, me and Kayla are gonna be like, ha 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 ha! Look at that, they got the 7 pick.
Yeah, feel free.
I won't do that.
If the Kings end up at 8, I'm not gonna be happy. But of course, then there'll almost be a relief to it. There will be a day or two, especially because it's on a Sunday. That Monday we'll react, and especially if they fall to 8, it'll be a negative show. The responses, we're going to get calls. There's going to be a lot of frustration on that day. It is what it is. Just like there's going to be a ton of celebration that day if the Kings happen to move up. I think if the Kings finish anywhere in the top 4, I think that's going to be a celebratory show.
I would hope so.
Because then now we can start talking about, okay, now we actually know the picks, so let's start talking about who they're going to go get. There will be the reaction to it. If they landed at 8, there would be that negative letdown of, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, okay, now you start getting to work. Now we have the context. It's over. Ping pong balls and hypothetical lottery odds are done. They have the 8th pick. Okay, now where do we go as an organization? I say we as if I have anything to do with it.
Yeah, we talk about them.
Yeah. So let's explore that a little bit. If the Kings were to end up with the 8th pick on the draft lottery,
okay,
how does that change, if anything, the Kings' approach to this offseason? Because on the surface level, Kayla, the reality is the approach to the draft is still going to be the same. Whether we have the number 1 pick or the 8th pick, we have to get the draft right.
Mm-hmm.
What changes to me are the expectations. Because if the Kings end up in the top 3 or top 4, I'm hoping for the generational star. If they end up with the 8th pick, I'm hoping maybe the Kings will get lucky enough to find a multi-time All-Star. But I'm looking for this is going to be a starter and a piece of this rebuild for years to come. That's what the expectations have changed at that point. Is that underselling, or because there have been 7th, 8th, 9th overall picks that have turned into phenomenal NBA players. Is that underselling? Do you think the Kings should still look at that range as we can still find our number 1 guy as part of this rebuild?
Okay, well, first of all, that won't be a problem because I just did sim lottery and Kings got 1. So you're welcome.
We're sending you to the draft
You're
lottery.
welcome.
We're sending Kayla Anderson to the draft lottery. She's the only lucky one.
And that's that. And then we
problem
won't have
solved.
to have this conversation.
Kayla's got Mother's Day plans,
I have.
Bring your dog.
I'm
Bring
the mother
Red.
of a dog. So
Bring
as long
Red.
as Red can come,
Red's
then
coming.
we're good to go.
Red is going to the
Adam
draft
Silver,
lottery.
get me one of those little vests that say service dog. We're good to go.
Put Red at the podium.
Perfect. He'd be hit. In all seriousness, the 8th spot. Okay, so I'm looking at the 8th spot right now, and I think that you're kind of saying, so for example, guys, right now, when we just did the lottery and, the Kings got the top spot, right now it's like a name like Nate Ament that's at the 8th spot from Tennessee. I look at that situation. Look, you'd have maybe a guy like Braden Burries, right? Possibly you'd have a guy like Keaton Wagler. I don't think Darius is going to fall that far. But those are kind of the names that are in that mix. Mikael Brown, those are some of the names. To me, Matt, I look at those names and I'm not thinking whoa, this is going to be the particular face of our franchise starting this next year. Yes, it can be a part moving forward, but it's not something that I look at next year with a team that could have a lot of the same pieces here and is going to help build for the future. I think it could be a part of the future, but that 8th pick and the names I just listed, they're like second pieces or third pieces. They're not the piece.
Yeah. The letdown comes from super talented draft, super deep draft, which in this case works in your favor at the 8th spot because you're still going to get a good player in theory.
Yeah.
You're still going to get a good player. The letdown is I'm not walking out of this draft with my for sure number one guy or who I believe is going to be my for sure. Maybe short term he is because there's really no other option. But no matter what, there's still going to be work to do after the draft, of course. But if the Kings walk out of draft night with A.J. DeBonsa or Darren Peterson or Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer, those 4 especially. You can even throw Darius Acuff Jr. in there because I know you're high on him.
Yeah.
If you walk out with any of those guys, you're walking out with the belief that I found my franchise cornerstone. I need to build around it properly and add to it, of course.
No doubt about it.
I found my guy versus what you're talking about is at 8, you're feeling like we walked out with one of those foundational pieces, which is good, but we either have to hope that this guy becomes the steal of the draft.
Yep. Which it could.
Hopefully this guy becomes what Donovan Mitchell was in his draft, or like these diamonds in the rough that you find. And calling it rough isn't fair because it's the 8th pick, but there's 7 guys that were picked beforehand, and we still ended up with one of the best.
Yeah.
Like you can hopefully get lucky in that sense, but the expectation is not that that's going to be the case. So now it's okay. We're proceeding going forward like. Exactly what you said. We still have to find our top guy. Is that going to come in next year's draft? That draft is considerably less talented according to the experts. Does that mean we have to secure an even higher pick next year in order to find that guy? Do we have to go star hunting in a trade a couple of years from now?
Well, and what are they doing next year in terms of the draft lottery? Right? Because Adam Silver says he wants to make the rules for this new, way they're doing it. I think he wants to start it next year.
Yeah, it's going to be immediate. It sounds like this is going to be the last year that the draft lottery is like this if the NBA has their way, and it sounds like there's no reason to believe that's not going to be the case. Yep. Here's what I think this opens the door to. We've discussed this already, but I believe, completely me here. I have not been told anything. I know how much the Kings like A.J. DeBonsa. I know how much the Kings like Darius Acuff Jr. And I've heard bits and pieces about other guys, but not as strong as I've heard about those 2 in particular. Now, A.J. is probably going to go number 1 overall, so I think we can take A.J. out of this conversation. But if the top 4 picks go in whatever order of the 4 that we expect, and let's say in this hypothetical sim that the Memphis is at 5, let's say. Okay, how aggressively does Scott Perry try to move up?
Ooh.
That's where I think the play is. I think I really think the Kings need to feel like they are walking out of this draft with a number 1 guy. And in that 8th range, I think the top 7, maybe you can talk yourself into it. Once you get to 8, because now in theory at 8, Kingston Flemings is probably off the board, and Kingston Flemings is personally that last guy for me. But maybe you feel Keaton Wagler is a guy.
I'm not convinced yet, but
I'm not either.
To each his own.
But let's say from Flemings to Acuff to Wagler and the top 4, those 7, you feel, if you're the general manager, you feel those are number 1 guys. Everybody else are really, really strong number 2s, but I need a number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. In that 8 spot, bare minimum, I need to move up to 7 to get the last of those guys remaining. But if I really like Acuff, which I believe the Kings really, really like Acuff, I think you're opening the door to, if the Kings were to end up with the 8th pick in the lottery, I think they would probably use future picks and players to try and move up. That would be my strategy if I were Scott Perry.
And of course, it does matter, who is in those certain spots, because some teams I think are way more and are going to be way more pricey, or may just say no deal, right? Depending
100%.
on what teams those are. Now, there's a good chance, too, that there are some of those teams that could want to wheel and deal because they have the ability to do that. So the question would be with the picks in particular, because we've known that Scott's been really particular about picks and how much he's giving up in terms of, I want to use an example of the Sabonis trade recently. He wasn't willing to take a wait. What was it?
He was not willing to include picks in order to move off of contracts.
There we go. Yes. And so I would be curious as how much he'd be willing to give up for picks in terms of trading up, or would it be more so a bigger piece in terms of a player and then like a first round pick in one of these years?
Yeah,
And would we still be on the Keegan Murray
I think
situation?
It's Keegan.
Because I think that's the ticket.
It's Keegan and it's draft picks. That's what you're using. Because Domas ain't doing it for you.
No.
Because of his contract.
The contract.
None of those other veterans are doing it for you because of their contracts.
And
right.
Keegan has been talked about in the NBA circles and within teams, right?
It's multiple firsts or it's Keegan. Or both.
Yeah.
It might be Keegan and a first, which is a ton. And if you're doing Keegan and a first, you better be moving into like the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just straight up Keegan to move up a couple spots, as long as the team financially can absorb Keegan's contract, which begins at like $24-25 million next year. His new deal begins. So that's a big jump. He's being paid like 11 or 13 million or something this year. That's a big jump. So that plays a factor in it too. But I mean, that's what we're talking about. I think the Kings would have 2 options in my mind. If they end up at 8, which as of right now, 8 is the furthest that they can fall because they're tied for the 4th spot. But if they were to finish in the 5th spot, in terms of 5th best draft lottery odds, Kyle laid this out for us. I think I accidentally might have deleted it. Do you remember what the percentage chance was for them to fall to 8 specifically? It was like it was in general like a 40-something% chance that they fall 6 or lower.
So in this very specific scenario where they're 5 by themselves, it would be 8.5% chance at 8, 0.6% at 9, but 55.6 to just be out of the top 5 entirely.
So, but in this hypothetical, again, we're talking about 8 because in a lot of people's, you could even do 7 if you wanted to make yourself feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
The point is, you feel like you're just outside of that range of number 1 top guys. In my opinion, personally, I think this is a 6-guy draft in terms of number 1 talent. And even the 6th guy in Kingston Flemings, you know how I'm a little not sure.
Right now, they would have for instance, Kingston at 5 to the Kings.
Yeah, I'm very much a believer that the Sacramento Kings need a top 5 pick in this draft. That's how I feel personally.
I'm not opposing that.
Which is the big part of the tanking conversation, because if they had stayed at number 1,
the furthest they could fall.
Yeah.
Yes, it would have been a 100% certainty.
But now it's a bigger range.
If they drop to 5, it's like a 44% certainty.
But now let's say that the Kings front office, their scouting department, is a little more optimistic about this class than I am, and they believe there are 7 guys that could be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're in that 8th spot and you need to move up, you again.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you need to.
You either need to move up or you need to accept that we're going to get a good player. We're going to get a guy that we like. But now we have to find an alternative to how do we get that top guy. Are we trying to trade Keegan and draft picks for him? Then how old is that guy? Does he fit the timeline? Because you don't want to trade a lot for a current star, because that doesn't make any sense for your timeline.
And I think the last thing you want to do real quick is defer to next year and be like, well, we'll just defer to next year's draft and we'll probably not be that good. They're not thinking that way.
Right, and who knows what it's going to take to get the top pick in next year's draft. It's probably going to be even more difficult than it is now because of the changes to the lottery system. This is the year to strike.
It is.
This is it. That's why people like myself have been so frustrated with the wins.
Yeah, sure.
This is the year to strike. Now we're talking the hypothetical bad scenario of them falling to 8. Again, it's a coin flip.
We got to put it all out there.
Right. So in my mind, it's either you end up with a high draft pick on lottery night, you end up in the top 6, or you trade into the top 6. Those are my options if I'm the Sacramento Kings. We either the ping pong balls are in our favor, or we're going to use the assets that we have, because the Kings have full control over their draft, with the exception of the 2031 pick is a swap with San Antonio. That's the only caveat. They still have a pick. It's just the worst pick of the Kings and Spurs. They have the Spurs 2027. It's not going to be any good, but they have it. And they have, unless something catastrophic happens to the Spurs, knock on wood. We don't want Wemby to get hurt.
No, they traded it for Nick Clifford. So it's like if the Spurs are good, it goes to OKC, but if they're bad, the Kings keep it.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
So I guess now we are rooting for catastrophic injury?
No, we're not. And then you have the 2031 Timberwolves pick, which is like the one saving grace from this De'Aaron Fox trade that we're like, please be bad. Anthony Edwards, go to the Lakers.
Get traded, yeah.
Go somewhere
else.
But you have all those assets available. Use them. Because Scott Perry, you're not going to be around to make that 2031 selection if this draft doesn't go well, in my opinion. This is it. It's a lot to put on one draft, but this is that kind of draft and that kind of year, especially with all the changes the NBA is making.
Yeah,
so
and
trade up or get lucky.
I think it is. It's a difficult conversation because you never can predict the future, especially in drafts. But we have known about this special class for a while. And to be honest with you, I don't think for the most part they've disappointed with what they did during the college season, at least. Now, I know that not all of them are going to pan out at the next level. That never happens that way.
Right.
And maybe some of these 1, 2, 3 guys, maybe one of them doesn't pan out, and hopefully you avoid that as well. But it is one of those, again, we go into the numbers and we go into the percentages. And while I'm not that type of a person usually, when you do know there is this type of draft and the real gold is at the very top, you kind of have to have a plan if you end up falling to that 8 spot or even the 7 spot. I truly don't think they will, guys. But
it's a very low.
Scott Perry has to have a plan for if they do.
It's a low chance.
Right.
But it's still there. Like the higher likelihood is they end up at like 6.
Yeah.
And even if I'm at 6, I'm still exploring how do I move into the top 4.
But there still might be a way.
But it depends on who are the 4 teams in that top 4.
Right.
Brooklyn ain't trading out of the top 4.
No.
The Pacers probably aren't trading out of the top because what good is draft picks to them? They're trying to win right now. So the Pacers aren't. The Wizards aren't. The Jazz aren't. So there's 4 teams right there that are not trading with you. If the Clippers get the pick at 5, let's say, because the Pacers fall to 5, are the Clippers trading that pick for draft picks? Maybe. If they get Keegan, and maybe that helps them short term. If Atlanta gets the pick, do they want Keegan? Well, they have an abundance of wings.
Probably not would be a fit there right now.
So I don't like it's not going to be easy to move up. That's where you have to put stuff on the table that it's like, oh, that's tough to walk away from.
Again, it's another thing if you're preparing as Scott Perry is for this insanity of a summer. They could probably do a documentary when it's all said and done about this summer for the Kings and name it like Summer of the Kings or something. But in all honesty, these are the types of things like him and his team are doing right now. Because like you have to have a plan A, B, C, D for this. I mean, it'd be one thing if you maybe had one of the top 3 spots right now and you knew you didn't have to fall that far. But now you're opening it up even more.
Yeah. Trading up is going to be very difficult too, by the way.
It's not going to be easy.
Because with how good this draft class is, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Just closing a loop on something you guys mentioned earlier. Here's the recent history of the 8th picks in the NBA draft. Just because you guys were 8th picks. Okay. We'll go back to, I don't know, pick a random year. Let's go Nick Stauskas as the first year.
Cool.
Oh,
good start.
Oof.
Nick Stauskas, Kayla's guy, Stanley Johnson.
Oh,
was
Stan.
the 8th pick.
Stanley.
Marquise Chris.
Whiff. Sacramento's own, by the way.
Frank Ntilikina.
Whiff.
Colin Sexton.
Good player, but not like it bounced around, and you would be very, very disappointed to get Colin Sexton. So whiff.
Jackson Hayes.
Fine, but not what you're looking for.
Obi Toppin.
Good.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like 7th man on a team that went to the finals. Franz Wagner.
Very good.
Franz.
I'd be very, very good. Almost a king. 1 spot away from being a king.
Dyson Daniels.
Very good. Good defender.
Jarris Walker. It's a whiff.
Yeah, big whiff.
Rob Dillingham.
Whiff.
And Igor Demin.
Whiff.
Yeah. So
I mean, come on, he's 19.
You have 2 of those guys.
So not a great odd.
2 of those guys. If you get a Dyson Daniels or you get a who's the other one I'm blanking on? Franz Wagner.
Franz.
If you walk out with guys like that, you're feeling good. You've gotten core pieces of your team going forward. But I don't know if any other of those guys are number 1. Right? I don't think either of those guys are looked at as number 1 guys. So but those were 2 out of the last 10 that you just shared with us?
I think 12.
2 of the last 12 were good. Now, to be fair, this is considered to be a super deep draft, so you have to keep that in mind too. 1 year can be an outlier. As long as you get it the right year, you just have to draft right, period, which is a very convenient blanket
easier
statement.
said than done.
Which I've seen a lot of people in this city talking about. Doesn't matter where the Kings end up. They just have to get the draft pick right. Okay, blind hope and optimism.
Right.
I love that. But,
Right.
look at the track record.
Well, you know what's also funny, Matt? Not only a track record here, Matt, but just because we're calling this the most talented crop of prospects to come out of this college year, does not mean this is going to be the top rookie class of all time.
Yeah.
That's going to every single one of these guys, 1 through 10 or whatever, they're going to go have, Hall of Fame careers.
It's not guaranteed to be a LeBron, Bosch, Melo. It's not
That's
Wade.
probably not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening.
And so it is it's funny because we do get excited about it, and we should, because the Kings are in a spot to possibly get some really good talent. But it ain't no guarantee that all of these guys are going to work out at the next level.
And I'm not even talking about it in the sense of the Kings don't want to embarrass themselves again. It's simply this: if the Kings want to actually come out of this rebuild, they need to get this right.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to start here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of pressure to put on you, but hey, put up or shut up time. You need whatever you do this summer, Scott Perry, around this draft in particular. You need to get this right.
He ain't sleeping this summer, I'll tell you that much.
And if you only hit a single, that's fine, but you better follow it up with a home run, or you got to start stealing bases. You got to figure something out in the future, which we don't know what the future holds. There are always other opportunities will open and close. We have no idea what they are. But if you walk out of this draft with just hitting a single, Brandon Ingram, to me, would be hitting a double.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about how underwhelming Brandon Ingram would be in my mind for what the Sacramento Kings need.
Yeah.
So what the hell is a single? The Kings need a star. They need a star.
Would Keegan Murray have been a single?
As of right now, I think Keegan's a single.
Okay.
Yeah, because he hasn't really.
Yeah. Can I say Keegan Murray's
is.
been as good as Brandon Ingram? Hell no.
Yeah. No, but it's just, again, based on, I wouldn't say Brandon Ingram is a double.
And I love Keegan. You know how much I love Keegan. I believe in Keegan very much. Keegan Murray's a single. If you walk out of this draft with a player equivalent for your franchise of how Keegan Murray is looked at, it's a fine draft.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're looking for and what you need as an organization, I don't know if it moves the needle, unless somehow Scott Perry does the unthinkable and gets this team to be effective in free agency, which they've never been, or if he gets a crazy draft or a crazy trade that nobody saw coming, which I guess is, of course, possible. Or the other caveat, and this feels like more wishful thinking than anything, but it's based off of the situation that we have right now, or Maxime Reynaud really becomes that dude, or Nick Clifford suddenly really becomes that dude. Maybe the group that you're building right now could potentially take that torch and run with it. But that's where you're going to lose a lot of people. If that's what you're trying to sell as your future, no disrespect to those guys, because I believe all those guys can be a part of your future, but not the center of it, for lack of a better term with Max's position. You need the center. You need the star. You need A.J. DeBonsa. You need Darren Peterson, even, if you believe in him. You need that guy. And if you don't get the lottery odds, if they don't go in your favor, then you better trade up and get them. That's all I'm saying.
What's more exhausting? Talk about Jonathan Kuminga for months and months and months, or talking about where they're going to either screw up and not get the right pick, or they're going to get a top 3 pick, and we're all going to be happy.
There's a trade right there. The Atlanta Hawks. Whose pick did the Hawks get? They get the Pelicans pick, right?
They get the better of theirs in the Bucks.
So let's say the Pelicans move up to 5. Okay. Not Darren Peterson. Darius Acuff Jr. is there at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Kings call up the Hawks. Yo, give us Kuminga.
Oh.
I don't even know if this trade is possible, because Kuminga's 1 year left on his deal.
It's a team option.
They did it so they could possibly get out.
Give us Kuminga.
Right.
Give us the 5th pick. Pick what you want.
Whoa.
We get it all.
There we go.
We get Kuminga and we get the pick. Now
and then they could take Keegan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Keegan, but I'd think about it. I'd certainly think about it. Let's take a break. Let's go to football. Kayla Anderson, before we get to your 2-minute drill, CBS says that the 49ers should be after arguably the top defender in the NFL, period. We'll talk about who that is and get Kayla Anderson's thoughts on whether or not they should be in their line of thinking or not. That's coming up next as we switch to football here on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble?
Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
100, so.
Whoa. Okay, this one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Wait. The T-Mobile one says families saved over $3,700 versus the other big guys in the past 5 years. And their experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. And a 5-year price guarantee? Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or...?
I'm thinking high-five.
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. Switch now at T-Mobile.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 among accounts with 3+ voice lines compared to AT&T and Verizon, excluding discounts, credits, and optional charges. See harrisx.com/T-Mobile. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Sacramento! Now you've got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD.
Potential star out there and available. And it makes sense. They're in the toughest division in football.
Yeah.
They are a team that is still trying to keep open a Super Bowl window while trying to compete with the Seattle Seahawks, reigning Super Bowl champions, and the LA Rams, who have made very specific defensive moves this summer to improve that side of the field, right? So naturally, the Niners should be buyers in this situation. Plus, they clearly don't care about their average age. They're like, well, bring them all in. Bring all the 30-year-olds.
Exactly.
We'll win with them all. Well, many of us feel that Myles Garrett has been wasting away.
Oh, and not Margaritaville.
No, very
I'd
much
love
not.
that.
In Cleveland with the Browns.
Wow, the opposite of Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Not even close to the
What
same
kind of
thing.
drink are they?
The ones that catch on fire.
Oh.
Martini?
Those
No,
flaming Dr. Pepper
A Molotov
shots?
cocktail? Flaming Dr. Pepper? Is that a thing? Ugh.
Jaeger.
Oh.
I just wanted to say that because any chance I get, I love pointing out that Cleveland's river caught on fire one time. That's a thing that happened.
I forgot about that.
It did.
They also released like millions of balloons into the air. That was crazy.
Well, so CBS Sports believes that if indeed Myles Garrett is available, that the 49ers are the team that need to trade for him the most. It also makes sense because the Niners are desperately in need of pass rush because they could not get to the quarterback at all after Nick Bosa went down with injury
Dead
last year.
last.
So they need to pick up with that. Would you like me to read the CBS excerpt for you to respond to, or do you have thoughts, at least initially, Kayla, on this idea?
It's a long excerpt, so why don't you just give me the nuts and bolts, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on it.
San Francisco has the 8th most effective cap space in the league at $26.4 million, and they're already down the 2026 third-round pick after acquiring Cowboys defensive tackle Osa. It's Odigizua, right? Is that how you pronounce his name? Odigizua. This offseason. San Francisco might be able to thread the needle and acquire both Garrett in a package, acquire Garrett in a package led by their 27th overall pick in the 2026 draft, and draft a few other players this year. The 49ers need to go for it with running back Christian McCaffrey turning 30 on June 7th, wide receiver Mike Evans turning 33, blah, 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 blah. So basically what CBS is saying is now is the time to go for it. Use that 27th pick as the foundation of this package and add upon it to the level that would ultimately convince the Cleveland Browns to trade arguably their greatest player of all time.
Okay. This has really got me torn because I'm thinking in the way that I think John Lynch is envisioning this season, and at least what he has showed he's envisioning is exactly that. We have to win like now. Like our window and the moves that we made with Evans and some of these older players and some of our players that are aging out, like George Kittle, for instance. I know that there's a couple. I mean, Christian's not a young buck anymore either.
Nope. Turning 30 again this year.
Yeah, and so it makes me think if that is seriously the mindset of John Lynch, where he truly feels like this team can stay healthy with these older players too and compete in the NFC West, which is the most difficult division in football, if you ask me, then yeah, you say it's pick 27. It's not the top of the draft. We did give away our third-round pick, which that's what makes me a little bit weary is like you can't put that much stock into this draft this year because you're going to be left with like a second-rounder, a couple fourths, I think a fifth, maybe a sixth they have. So you really the first overall pick, or sorry, the first round, you're not going to have a pick, and the third round, you're not going to have a pick. Those are two like pretty good spots. I mean, third-round picks are valuable.
Yeah.
But maybe they're thinking, look, we were going to take an edge spot anyway, a defensive tackle anyway with that 27th pick. And why don't we just go now if we're going all in this year and go get 30-year-old Myles Garrett? Because one thing you know about Myles Garrett, and one thing that I will actually be on the side of them in this way, is that Myles Garrett ain't slowing down. He reminds me of what Derrick Henry is on the offensive side of the ball. He is a unicorn. You don't just continue to play this type of football over the age of 30 at those positions. Like, you don't. And Henry, whatever he does in the offseason and his eating plans and his workout plans are crazy, Myles Garrett's doing the same thing. Because Myles Garrett has not slowed down.
No.
In fact, last year in 2025, he had his most sacks ever with 23 in a season.
He's a beast.
Guys, it's insane.
He's a beast.
And I always preach that if you have your quarterback and you have your quarterback surrounded by the right weapons and you're missing, though, the guy that's going to go get to the quarterback, you don't have a full team yet. And so maybe acquiring Myles Garrett in a trade like this and giving up the first rounder and probably, some other stuff, maybe they believe like, yeah, we got that guy now. We got our quarterback. We've got the pieces we need. We'll re-sign or we'll give Trent Williams an extension. We'll keep him for another year. This is how we get it done.
Yeah.
So in that way, I can totally envisioning this happening. However, I am also a builder of the future, and what they've done so far has not really shown that. At what point are they going to start doing that?
Yeah.
In what draft are they going to start building for the future when all of these guys go down or they retire or they just don't have it left in them? But they keep on holding on to that core.
Our friend Nick Wagner of ESPN, who covers the 49ers, we've had this conversation with him before, and he talks about that approach to the draft as being twofold for the Niners. Yes, they're still trying to win right now and maximize the older talent that they have, but they do need to use this draft to start to address the future. Plug some of the holes right now too, but also try and bring in that next generation for these current old guys, for lack of a better term, to pass the torch to. The term that you use that's appropriate is all in. This is as all in as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
This is an all in move.
100%.
So let me pose this question to you and even Kyle too. We don't know what the Niners do with the rest of their draft picks, but we know they trade for Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
So they have Myles Garrett, they add it to this core, and let's assume for the most part the Niners stay generally healthy.
Yeah.
And they're like these top guys are playing the majority of games. I won't say all of them because perfect health just doesn't exist. Are the 49ers, with Myles Garrett adding them to this veteran core, and now Mike Evans that they've added and blah, 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 are they better than the Seattle Seahawks? In theory? Are they more likely? Are they more likely to win a title than the Seattle Seahawks if Myles Garrett is on this team with how they've constructed?
Honestly, they might be right there. Yeah.
Right there?
I mean, I'm still, the Seahawks lost their MVP running back. Obviously, they still have some huge pieces offensively and defensively. I don't think their defense is hard to match that because that's Mike McDonald. That's his specialty. But honestly, Myles Garrett's a game changer on the right team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it in Cleveland. He can only do so much, but he affects the quarterback. If he can affect Sam Darnold, if he can affect Matthew Stafford, who's not getting any younger, like, to me, that can affect the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's all said and done, you need to start with winning your division.
Yeah. Are they better than the Rams? Are they?
I think they can. Yeah. I truly, again, health is everything.
Sure.
So
It's
if
the
you
impossible part of the
give me the one thing that they can stay healthy, then yeah, I do think that they're right there.
Are they better? And there's a point to this. Are they better than the Bills? Are they better?
Yeah.
Because if you're making this move, it's Super Bowl or bust, and this is it.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think Myles Garrett is done after this year by any means. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, if you trade for Myles Garrett, he should be a Niner.
Yeah, he's going to be here.
He'll play for you for a little while.
Yeah.
But the core has a 2-year window.
Essentially.
I agree.
Yes. You're going all in. It's Super Bowl or bust. If you're not the best team in football, what more do you need?
Mm-hmm.
And can you even reasonably acquire that anymore at this point? Like, if you trade for Myles Garrett and you still can't win, you just ain't going to get it done.
I just think even Myles Garrett at the age he's at, like, the Cleveland Browns are going to want a lot.
Yes. I don't think...
I don't know if Niners really have that much to be like, here you go.
I don't think...
Here's all our future picks.
If the 27th pick is the best thing the Browns are getting in this deal, I don't think that's enough.
No,
I think they're asking for
future stuff
They're
too.
asking for a future first.
And I don't think the Niners can do that. They're going to be putting themselves way behind if they do that.
You're going all in.
Yeah.
So you better get Shanahan that ring.
Oof.
You're giving up control.
That's a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on the organization.
That's the conversation.
Yeah.
If you want Myles Garrett and you're ready
in
to go
theory,
all in,
it's nice.
Go for it. It would be fun and fascinating.
Gosh, it'd be
but
awesome.
The pressure, there is more pressure on the Niners than any other team in football, including Josh Allen and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
There is no team with more pressure on them than the Niners to win if they were to make this move. I'm all for it. If that's what you want to embrace that challenge, you better get that done.
But I feel like if that didn't work, somebody's getting fired.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, as much as I feel like that's been a great organization from top to bottom, I just feel like that's a decision where it'd be like, okay, wait a second.
Yeah, I don't think that's not the reason why the Niners don't do this. I just think that's too big of a swing.
I do too.
For them
I'd love it though,
have to
man.
take. It would be fascinating. But
and then isn't he? Who's he engaged to? The Olympic snowboarder.
Oh yeah, because he was taking pictures.
So now, by far, the Niners Wags are
Chloe Kim.
above and beyond everybody. Like, the Wags for the Niners are above anybody else anyway, but they're like all within their own right, like famous, So she would be added to their little group as well.
We'll take the break. When we come back, more football on the way. Kayla Anderson takes us around the NFL in Kayla's 2-minute drill, including some interesting mock drafts. Oh, and by the way, before our crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles at the end of the show, ESPN did a mock draft where they traded every single pick.
So we're going to do that.
I'm curious to see what your breakdown or what your thoughts would be on some of these trade packages that they put together for if the Raiders were to consider trading number 1 or the Niners were to consider trading number 27. So we'll have some fun with that later on in the show. Kayla's 2-minute drill is coming up next on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Whoa. Okay, this one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Wait. The T-Mobile one says family saved over $3,700 versus the other big guys in the past 5 years. And their experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. And a 5-year price guarantee? Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or...?
I'm thinking high five.
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. Switch now at T-Mobile.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 among accounts with 3+ voice lines compared to AT&T and Verizon, excluding discounts, credits, and optional charges. See harrisx.com/T-Mobile. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Innova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Running a business takes grit, vision, and a partner who believes in your success as much as you do. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built around you. The entrepreneurs, the growers, the dreamers, powering our community. Whether you need flexible checking, faster payments, or financing to take your next big step, Valley Strong brings local expertise and real relationships to every stage of your business. Because when local businesses thrive, the whole valley grows stronger. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future. ValleyStrong.com/business.
It's time for the 2-minute drill. Kayla Anderson has the ball, and she's taking us around the world of football. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill on Matt and Kayla.
Yes, indeed. It is time for the 2-minute drill. TC, we see you on hold. You want to talk about the Myles Garrett to the 49ers conversation we are having in the next segment. We will get to you at the end of this segment, so stick around. But right now, Kayla Anderson, what's going on in the NFL?
It is that time. We hear the music. We know it is time to talk a little football. We're going around the league, as we always do, in the 2-minute drill. So, how about Schrager sharing a mock draft? There's so many mock drafts this time of year. You guys know this. We go over a lot of them. We'll probably go over a few of them as we get closer to the draft at the end of the month.
I'm doing one right now.
Oh, are you? Okay. Because we did say we were maybe going to do our own mock drafts and have some fun with it.
Sure.
Matt's like, I'm going
to do, as soon as we get past like round 4, I'm throwing.
Just pick random guys.
I'm throwing darts at a board.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
That's totally fine.
I did the Raiders, Ty Simpson, and Indiana guys yesterday, so I'll do the Raiders. I'm sorry, I'll do the Niners today.
Okay, well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you
him.
this, Kyle. One quarterback that Peter Schrager does not have going to the Las Vegas Raiders at number 1 is Ty Simpson. It's not Ty Simpson, okay?
What do you mean? Dan Orlovsky says he's the best quarterback.
But that doesn't mean he's going number 1 overall.
Quiet Chiefs fan.
And Danny O, he sometimes gets paid to do some outlandish stuff. That's just my thoughts. Love you, Danny O. When it comes to that pick, it is Fernando Mendoza, and he did just do a visit yesterday.
The GOAT!
At the Raiders headquarters.
Yeah, he was moving in.
Yeah, pretty much. And in those situations, guys, when they meet with teams, it's called their top 30 visits, and they get to pick 30 prospects that come and meet with them, and they spend up to 3-4 hours with people in the organization, with the GM, getting to know the building, and then they'll sit in and they'll do a lot of writing up on the whiteboard, especially if you're a quarterback, showing plays, telling them to break it down. I'm assuming that's a lot of what Mendoza did yesterday.
Yeah.
But I also think it was probably a little bit of a welcoming in a way behind the scenes as well, because I know Tom Brady was there.
Yeah.
They know who they're getting.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's just hey, we'll see you officially in about a month, but welcome.
It's like that, not the first recruiting visit in college when they take you around campus, this could be you and everything when you still have decisions. It's like when you basically know, it's like that final visit when you basically know you're committing to them.
It's
and it's
such
just
exciting feeling,
now
too.
let's really get into the specifics of this is what your life is going to actually look like.
It's like, hey, agent, start looking at some homes, too.
Yeah, that's what I imagine.
Me,
They barely were in the facility. They just took them out and they
Exactly.
just were driving through suburbs.
Took him out a big
Here's a nice place.
buffet on the strip, all that stuff. Okay, so number 27 for Peter Schrager's mock draft for the Niners. This is, again, where it's pick or choose what you want.
Yep.
We're talking edge. We're talking offensive tackle. We're talking wide receiver at the spot. I've seen safety. But he is going with Caleb Lomu from Utah. He's an offensive tackle. He states in this, the reason why is San Fran's offensive line could be in flux if they don't get things cleared up with Trent Williams' contract, which we do feel like is probably going to get figured out. To be honest, he says, even the Niners and Williams work out his deal, the team has to still think future.
Yep.
Williams is going to be 38 years old. Lomu played left tackle for the Utes last season. Although his game is still a work in progress, he is worthy of a first-round grade. He did not allow any sacks in 2025.
Weird question that just popped into my brain because offensive lineman, it's obviously not the most exciting.
It is not
position.
sexy,
It's
okay?
not but it's necessary. You need a good offensive line to have a chance, especially
Yeah.
if you were trying to keep.
Well, you saw the Raiders last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Un-
Sorry.
Yes. Every freaking
Had to remind you of that
Sunday.
one.
By the way, they were the healthiest team in the league last year, I saw.
Is that supposed to be true?
Yeah,
I mean, no, they actually were. The Raiders were somehow the healthiest team in the NFL.
I would have never known that.
Nope. Between offensive line, edge, and receiver for the Niners to go with that first round pick, which is the least impactful in terms of the winning immediately thing? Am I crazy to say
that's
it's
so hard to say.
Am I crazy to say it's receiver though, simply because Mike Evans is there and they just got
Like this year in particular?
Yes, like in terms
Yeah,
of immediate
yeah,
impact.
Absolutely.
The receiver's probably the least because
I'd say edge would probably, but there's not a lot of edges that are going to fall to that spot
Edges
that
are
are going
the
to be
most.
like ready to go.
Yeah, edges are the most impactful.
It's a crappy pick. I'm not going to lie, but when you're good, you pick in the bottom of the 20s every single year, and it's just hard.
O-line might make perfect sense there.
I agree with you. And left tackles, again, do not, say it with me, do not grow on trees. There we go.
Yay, I learned something.
So, but in all seriousness, not a sexy pick, could really help in the future.
Yeah.
All right, next up, because that was only first round that he drafted. So we're moving on. Peter, until you give us more,
Yeah,
we're
give us
moving on.
more.
Yeah, come on now. Getting some exercise.
Oh?
Where do you think I'm going with this, by the way?
I have no clue.
Okay, I thought that was a good headline.
Yep.
So the Texans have exercised
Nice.
the 2027 fifth-year options for quarterback C.J. Stroud
Oh.
and for all-pro defensive end Will Anderson. Thank you. ESPN's Field Yates reporting this today. Stroud is going to make, or will make, I should say, $25.9 million. Anderson would receive $21.5 million in 2027. Their salaries fully guaranteed.
Yep.
So I guess the big thing with this, they've both been Pro Bowlers. But the thing with C.J. Stroud is the question among everything, because Will Anderson is a beast.
Yeah.
And he has been impactful in terms of their defense. C.J. Stroud's just been a mystery. It's like we don't know really what he is as a quarterback. We thought we did his rookie season.
Yeah.
But it's just been like going down, and then he'll have moments. But in the playoffs, he's just kind of like almost gotten worse.
I'm still a believer.
I believe he has all the tools to get it done. It's like they got to pair him with the right offensive coordinator, and that's, I think, been an issue. So, but clearly, I think they're going to be sticking around. So
yeah, it's the right move for them to make. At least take another look at it. Although the argument for C.J. Stroud being your franchise quarterback is getting weaker by the year, but it's not all said and done. You're just at this point now, you're kind of hoping for a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And maybe CJ can be that.
And again, you are making the playoffs. You've been to the playoffs every year with CJ Stroud as your quarterback. What do you need to get in terms of his headspace right to make sure you're getting past that certain point in the playoffs?
Yeah, at some point it's less of the pieces around him and more of is he that guy or is he not?
Exactly.
That's the question. That's the question in Houston right now.
That's a quick 2-minute drill today, but I said I wanted to get to the phones.
Yeah, we got to get to TC here. TC wants to jump in on this hypothetical Niners going after Myles Garrett conversation we had in the last segment. TC, what up, my friend?
All right, what's up, Matt? What's up, Kayla?
What's up, DC?
All right, so look, check it out, man. Hey, so it's the Niners are a different team, right? And what I mean by a different team is there ain't really no draft capital that's too much for Myles Garrett when you're talking about the Niners. This isn't a rebuilding team, right? Otherwise, if you're not looking to make that move, then the Niners will continue. The Niners and Kyle Shanahan will continue to be high-level losers. Like I said before, right? You're not serious about winning the Super Bowl. You just want to be relevant. You want people to think of you like you got 20 Super Bowls and you're the greatest coach of all time without really winning anything, bro. So at the same time, I'm giving 3 first-round picks up if I had to get Myles Garrett to go win that Super Bowl, bro, to add to what we got going on. Yeah, bro.
So TC, you're obviously willing to go all in. What if it fails, though? Like what? So you say, okay, I don't think we need to do 3. Let's say 2 first-round picks. We go all in, the future, we mortgage the future or whatever to get Myles Garrett. You go for it. Let's say whether you make it to the Super Bowl and lose again, you make an NFC Championship run, whatever happens, you don't get that ring. At that point, like I know how you feel because I've listened to you for a long time and we've talked many times. I know how you feel about Kyle Shanahan. At that point, are you ready to hit the TNT button and blow this whole thing up? Because that might be what it ends up being. It's either you win that title or a complete explosion of the 49ers as we know it.
Right, because at that point, you're right. At that point, it'd be like, bro, you got to get out of here. Because if Kyle can't get it done, with Myles Garrett, a bona fide rusher, well, actually, let me back up. With Myles Garrett and Nick Bosa on both sides, then what are we doing?
Assuming they stay healthy, of course, and that's the big assumption.
Yeah, it is. And
TC, thanks for
that's
the call.
The one I hate to have to add that in with them every time. How do we not, though? Every season, it's something.
That conversation is brought up with every single hypothetical sports conversation because injuries are always the caveat. But with the Niners especially, with how these last few years have gone, you can't just simply disregard that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the electric, magnetic, whatever the hell.
Right, because they've counted that out, they said.
Yeah, it's a whole nothing burger, according to John Lynch.
One more thing real quick that just came down to add to the 2-minute drill. Nothing crazy, but the NFL informed clubs today it will start training replacement officials next month.
Yay.
With the goal of them preparing for team visits starting June 1st if no deal can be reached with the referees union. So, and it does not look like it's going in a great direction. And of course, the labor deal expires 31st.
You want to go try out with me?
How fun would that be?
Let's just go.
That'd be fun.
Let's have a time.
I mean, I might get yelled at. I might get tomatoes thrown at me.
Yeah, right. You would fight. As soon as a player came and gave you anything, you'd throw a flag and then punch them.
I was just talking about the fans.
Oh, yeah, you would definitely.
I guess.
The first referee to jump into the crowd and start fighting the fans.
She would pull a reverse Dan Hurley.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
She's
yeah, there we
headbutting
go.
coaches.
That'd be I would. Who would I want to headbutt the most?
Which NFL coach?
NFL coach? I know it's not Mike Vrabel.
No.
Is it Sean
Boy, he's
Payton?
in some hot water, though.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Are there hateable coaches left in the NFL anymore? I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Who?
I just know there are.
I'm just trying to think.
We'll let Kayla think
Yeah,
about
let me
during
think
the
about
break,
that.
and she'll answer it when we
Okay.
come back. Before we speak
That's
with
a great
Jeremiah
question.
Salmonson, he's a writer that covers the Kings and the A's for sports radio service here in Sacramento. A good friend of ours here at the station. Jeremiah joins us. He was in the Chase Center to watch the Kings and the Warriors last night. Maybe we'll get his opinion on that weird foul at the end of the game, the intentional foul on Seth Curry that has the internet all angry at the Kings. We'll talk with Jeremiah about that and more coming up next. It's the start of the final hour of Matt and Kayla on a Wednesday, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
You ever notice how the other guys scream about massive discounts on their Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep Ram vehicles? Then you get to the fine print and boom, another $5,200 in mandatory ads. At Hoblet, we don't insult your intelligence. The price you see is the price you pay. No mystery add-ons, no bait and switch, no gotcha when you sit down to buy. Hoblet, family owned for 77 years. Transparency, straightforward pricing. Buy it right, buy it at Hoblet.
Spring is in the air, and Alev's long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending more time outdoors, spring is a way of getting us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just one dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats, looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is the time for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITBFest.com.
If you're serious about getting better at golf, start with the fit. At Hagen Oaks, everything begins with Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan Player Performance Studio analyzes your swing to match you with the right clubs. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball for your game. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And with FootJoy's 3D foot scanner, you'll walk the course in shoes that actually fit. From driver to putter and even what's on your feet, Hagen Oaks fits every part of your game. Total Game Fitting, only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Before we talk with our friend Jeremiah Salmonson here on the show for the first time, might I add. Oh, we need a mic on. Thank you, Kyle. Kayla's microphone button does not work in the studio anymore. So Kyle has to turn her mic on and off, and sometimes Kyle does like 7 different things, and then Kayla wants to talk and can't talk. We're silencing you, Kayla! You've been silenced. Sorry, you can talk now. Oh, she's upset. It's not my fault. I didn't do it.
I'm joking. What were you saying?
I was just setting it up like.
First of all, par 3 is on. It's hilarious watching these kids just be in a sand pit and stuff.
Oh.
Like doing sand angels and stuff.
At the Masters?
Yeah, at the Masters. Really funny. Yeah. By the way, we were asked if I were to get in someone's face, a coach's face, if I'm the ref and we're doing the reverse Dan Hurley.
No, you said specifically headbutting.
Headbutting, sorry. Yes, of course, headbutting. Who would that be? And I was thinking about it during the break, and I did write down a name, but then Scooter in the YouTube chat, which you can always be in there and discuss everything with us if you're kind, of course. You could disagree with us, though. You just might get a little punch back.
Just from Kayla.
Maybe just from me. Scooter said Nick Sirianni, and I was
like,
one. "Oh,
that's a good one.
That's a really good one."
Might be some players in that Eagles locker room that would want to do that. But.
Yeah, I mean, he has a head buntable face.
Okay. Who is your answer, though? Is Sirianni your answer?
This is a sneaky one, and you guys might not know much about him yet, but he's kind of a little cocky.
Uh-huh.
Likes to talk a lot, by the name of Ben Johnson for the Chicago Bears.
You would headbutt Ben Johnson?
Yeah.
He's the person I'd least want to headbutt.
Oh, no, you don't know him then.
No, but he might be a jerk, but I feel like he's going to beat me up.
Oh, no. Me? Have you seen me when I'm mad?
Kayla knows she'll beat everybody.
Have you seen me when I'm mad?
Yes.
I feel like I'm 6'8", 275 pounds.
I've seen Ben Johnson take his shirt off in 20 degrees.
He is not that buff, is he?
He's ripped.
Is he?
He is, dude. Also, if we're just doing by looks, Matt LaFleur, punchable face. Very easy.
Oh, that's not nice. That's not what we're doing.
He's got the most groomed eyebrows I've ever seen in my life.
So personality, Sirianni. By looks, definitely Matt LaFleur.
Somehow this conversation is the perfect way
I wonder if Jeremiah has
invite Jeremiah Salmonson into this show for the first time. Jeremiah has been a good friend of mine for a long time. Like I've talked about, he's one of the most interesting guys on the planet. He covers the Kings and the A's, writes about both of them for sports radio service here in Sacramento. Was in the Chase Center last night for Kings and Warriors. We'll get to that in a second. Jeremiah, here you go. Congratulations. You've made it onto Matt and Kayla. How do you feel? Is it how, in terms of all the things you've accomplished and you've traveled the world, how high is this up on that list for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is an honor of a lifetime. I don't really know any other way to put it, right? Yeah. I mean, being able to be on with Matt and Kayla on a Wednesday afternoon. I mean, this is pretty much peak. I think my life has peaked at this point. But I mean, quickly on your guys' previous conversation, I'm pretty sure if I were an NFL coach, I would be vaulted to the top of that list, the most punchable face in the NFL. So, just a little note there. If I ever get one of those gigs, I'll probably be at the top of that list.
Keep an eye out for Jeremiah on the sidelines of your favorite football team very, very soon. It's one of the many things that, Jeremiah feels like has lived 1,000 lives with all the different things that he's done and all the cool places that he's been. And one of those cool places, because I'm actually a fan of it, I know we make fun of it a little bit compared to the Golden One Center, but I think the Chase Center is great in the Bay. You were there last night at the Chase Center for the Kings versus the Warriors. Not as meaningful as it was once upon a time, a handful of years ago, the battles between the Kings and the Warriors in both the Golden One Center and the Chase Center. But what did you make of last night's game? And Jeremiah specifically, it's an incident that took place that I didn't really think too much of. I didn't reference on the podcast last night, but I woke up this morning and there's all this social media reaction to Doug Christie having Doug McDermott intentionally foul Seth Curry in the fourth quarter when the Kings were up by 1 in order to take a timeout. People are taking that and running with it, saying it's the most egregious sign of tanking yet in the NFL or NBA. What do you make of that moment? Did you clock that moment in real time when it was happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting angle, right? Like, did I clock that when it was happening? And the answer is no. I mean, I didn't think much of it. Look, the Kings had taken a lead with only a couple minutes to go left in that game, and they had come back from a double-digit deficit in that game as well. So I didn't think much of it. I thought it was typical Kings basketball this season. I mean, the Kings have been fairly sloppy at times. They've committed bad fouls. They've also just kind of operated on a different level. There's been sometimes that Doug Christie will call something out, and you kind of scratch your head. You're wondering, what was the purpose behind that? But obviously, he's an NBA head coach, former player. He knows more than a lot of us. And I didn't think of anything of it during the moment. Then, of course, I heard Draymond Green's comments after the game, which I thought were insane. And I then, of course, saw everything blowing up on X, much like everyone else did. So I didn't think much of it. I think if you watch Kings basketball this season, it's pretty evident they're not tanking. And if they are, they're doing a really poor job of it. I mean, they've won a number of games in their last few, and it doesn't look like they're tanking to me. And I didn't think much of it yesterday.
Jeremiah, I don't know what your thoughts were before we've kind of seen an uptick in the youth here and them playing together and them winning some games that probably aren't even supposed to win. I don't know your opinion on Doug Christie before that in terms of this season, but what do you feel like he has done recently, and how justifiable is that to continue to give him a chance here with the Kings organization?
Yeah, I mean, everything aside from Doug being a beloved member of this organization for years and, being a part of some of this organization's best times in the early 2000s, I think Doug's biggest quality he's brought to the table so far this year is really letting his young guys play free. He's not one of those head coaches that's, you make a mistake, you're a young guy, you make a mistake, he's immediately going to sit you on the bench. He's going to let you make mistakes. And, granted, part of that is just where the Kings are in this season. But I think he's done a good job with that. I think the players have voiced their appreciation for the way that he has coached this year for them. I think letting the young guys kind of play free, make mistakes, learn from them, coach these guys up, I think that's been his biggest strong suit. And I think that's his biggest, his best card in the deck, so to speak, going into next year, trying to convince the Kings to hold on to him. I mean, he's obviously under contract, so that will be the default. But, the Kings are clearly in a rebuild mode, or, that partial rebuild. And I think he has made a good case for himself this season to kind of be the guy to help develop the young guys continuing to go into next season. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I've seen from Doug Christie this season on, a reason to keep him around another season as head coach.
Jeremiah, one of the major takeaways that I had from last night is thinking back to how atrocious the Kings, just fluidity, how they played offensively. I know Doug Christie is all about defense, but offensively, they were so your turn, my turn, stop and go early on this season as this disjointed roster featuring a ton of incredibly talented individuals tried to figure out how to play together, and it just never really meshed, plus the injuries that this team has dealt with from the very beginning. Compare that to the basketball that the Sacramento Kings have been playing really over the last, let's call it 3 weeks, how they played last night. Now, it wasn't perfect. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's so incredibly better compared to where it was. But the reality is the team in general, especially these young guys, they've gotten clearly more comfortable playing together. They're playing more of a fluid style of basketball compared to earlier in the season, and I think that is a credit not just to the young guys for getting more comfortable, not just to the veterans who helped them get there, and of course the coaching staff who's developed them over that time. I think in general it's just a sign of at least there's been progress made. Do you notice that same thing with how they're playing as of late, that it just feels like in general, this team is figuring out and playing better basketball together and maybe more towards the quote-unquote standard that we hear Doug Christie talk so much about?
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. And that's exactly what I asked Doug after the game yesterday. I asked him, like, if you don't watch this team on a daily basis, you're just going to, like the Draymond Greens of the world or any of these other people, out here calling on the Kings for tanking, things like that. If you don't watch the Kings on a daily basis, you might not have noticed the improvements. But as we do watch the Kings on a daily basis, and as their fans do, there has been a significant increase in the quality of the basketball that's been played in the last few weeks. Now, again, these are young guys. There's mistakes. I'm not saying this is championship-level basketball or even really entertaining basketball, but the quality from these younger guys, them getting more comfortable with each other, getting more reps in with each other. The guys like Maxime Reynaud, Dylan Cardwell, Daquan Plowden have all played really, really well, and they're going to make mistakes. They're young guys, but the Kings a couple months ago wouldn't have even been in a game like this the other night with the Warriors. And I think, the Warriors aren't a great team either, but, that in and of itself, I think, is a sign of growth. And Doug told me it's one of the more gratifying things that he's been able to be a part of this season is that ability to see his guys put in the work and to see some improvement. And I think, with a lot of times with younger players, that improvement is sometimes more stark. It's not necessarily getting improvements from the fringes of your game. A lot of times these guys' games are evolving and they're shaping their game at the NBA level for the first time, and you really get to see a large change in such a short amount of time. Same with guys like Nate Clifford. Even Devin Carter's played well in spurts. So, I think it's been much more entertaining last few weeks, and I think it puts Doug in a better spot than he might have been a few weeks or a month ago in keeping his job. And I also think that it provides a little bit of hope. If the Kings can land a high draft pick, pair them with some of these younger guys they've been developing, you might, hopefully that window goes from, 4 or 5 years down to just, maybe a couple of years. You're seeing this team back in real playoff contention.
Jeremiah, we were speaking about just a minute ago, you were naming all the younger guys, the rookies, and with Dylan Cardwell in particular, he had a great, run there and then got injured. And I think he came back for a couple of those games and we were all maybe thinking, okay, it's going to take him a minute to get back in the swing of things. And then he's just exploded back on the scene in the last week and a half or so. I guess what have we learned about with Dylan, particularly in this second half of the season, now that he has, had some adversity to face as well as being a rookie?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with Dylan, I think you get the effort and the work ethic and the attitude every single night. Even to your point, when he was coming back from injury recently, he definitely didn't look himself those first few games back, but now he seems to be back in his original form. So I think it has to do so much with his work ethic and so much with just the confidence that he has in his game. I mean, he talks about it. He talked about it on the Easter game where he really was kind of a nobody coming out of college, and the Kings and Doug Christie gave him a chance, and he's just really showcasing the talents that he has and doing it to the best of his ability. And I think when you have a player like that, doesn't have a ton of ego, I think it makes getting him to fit on the floor with other young guys and guys trying to make a name for themselves even easier. And I asked him about the injury stuff yesterday. He said it was the first really time ever that he's missed any significant time with an injury. He said he only missed a couple games in college, really never more than one, in succession. So it's a little of a new territory for him, trying to get back from an injury. And he had that little moment where he bumped knees with Draymond, but he seems to be back in his rare form and continuing to grow these last couple games of the season.
Jeremiah, $153 million worth of Kings payroll did not play in last night's game. And one of those guys who has been playing a lot recently but did not play last night with, I think, hamstring tightness or hamstring soreness, I believe, was DeMar DeRozan. Now, when I saw that, especially after playing only 10 minutes in Sunday's Easter loss to the LA Clippers, I questioned, okay, are we going to see DeMar DeRozan again? And I even felt that way at the start of today's show. But I don't know if you saw the Sacramento Kings put out there that in addition to their 6-man celebration on Friday night against the Warriors, the Kings will be doing a celebration of DeMar DeRozan and just the career that he's had. So now I'm thinking, is DeMar DeRozan going to play in that game? And if he does that increase their chance of beating the Golden State Warriors, who will be coming in on the second night of a back-to-back after playing the Lakers? Do you have any feel or opinion on whether or not we will see DeMar DeRozan again? Did you poke around at all as to why he was not playing and was in street clothes yesterday with Russell Westbrook and the rest of them?
Yeah, so to answer your question, I think he will play on Friday. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, and this is not, detailed inside information, but I do think he'll play, and I think it goes back to Doug Christie's comments after their last home game that they had, where he was asked a similar question on if, this might have been the last time that the Kings fans saw DeMar DeRozan, and he described, DeMar as being a competitor and really wants to play. So if DeMar's hamstring and, his soreness or whatever it is good to go, I anticipate DeMar playing on Friday. Now, he might not play extended minutes. I mean, I definitely think this is probably going to be a little bit of not a farewell tour, but like a nice moment for him to kind of soak in of the moments he's had in Sacramento. I mean, I know it's been kind of a later stop in his career, more of an afterthought of DeMar's career in total, but he has had some, impressive milestones reached here, as he climbs up that leaderboard. And I think hopefully Kings fans will appreciate the contributions he's made to the team. He was never the perfect fit for the Kings roster-wise, fit-wise, but I think he's been the ultimate professional since he's been here. DeMar seems to be the ultimate teammate, and he's never been out here complaining about the team, complaining about his role. He's really just come in here and hoop, and I think that's what he loves to do. And so I think if he gets the chance, he's going to play on Friday.
Jeremiah, some of these guys that we've seen, like I mentioned, two-way guys come out of their shells a little bit. Daquan Plowden having a runway to kind of showcase himself a little bit here. Killian Hayes last night I thought looked really good as well. What can we see, or can we even see with them in the future? I know more so depth pieces, but I mean, what can they do in terms of making decisions right now, what they're seeing out of them? Uh-oh, do we lose him?
We lost Jeremiah.
Oh, no.
He's gone.
Oh, I'm back.
He's back.
Momentary glitch in the Matrix. I think to your point, I think that's what most of the season's been about, right, is evaluating these young guys and seeing what they might have in them, right, moving forward. And I think, to your point with Daquan, he's a perfect example of that because he had, his skill set really seems like it plays at the NBA level. I mean, as a 3-and-D guy, kind of energy guy, being able to knock down shots. And so it's been the story a lot recently with the Kings of kind of finding these guys that can play maybe good role player spots for them. The Keon Ellis's in the world for a time. So I think he might have earned himself, a deeper look heading into next season. And I certainly think the Kings feel the same way because I think he plays with that identity and that culture that the Kings and Doug Christie and Scott Perry have been talking about since they kind of revamped the front office. So I think the Kings are still evaluating everything. I think you're going to see, hopefully a decently busy offseason heading into next season for the Kings. I mean, they do need to make changes to the roster. And so I think guys like Daquan are now suddenly maybe making their way into that conversation about what the roster is going to look like next season based off their play.
We're speaking with Jeremiah Salmonson. He covers the Kings and the A's for Sports Radio Service. And let me transition over to a little bit of baseball talk, Jeremiah. Of course, you cover the A's. You're also you grew up a diehard fan of the San Francisco Giants, so you're closely paying attention to both of our local baseball brands here. Neither off to the best of starts. Who are you more concerned about at this point between the two?
I mean, the A's. I'm concerned about the A's pitching. I mean, the A's pitching is not in a good spot. Now, that's not to say that they don't have young guys. It's not to say that there's guys that can't develop. You guys like Jamie Arnold, the waiting in the wings in the minor leagues, should be with the club at some point. Next season probably. There's definitely light at the end of the tunnel for this club's pitching staff, but. I mean, their bullpen is just, you saw it again yesterday against the Yankees. Mark Leiter giving up the runs there late in the game, and the A's, who pretty much led most of the game, just couldn't pull it out. I mean, they're really struggling. Now, their offense is too good, I think, to continue struggling the way that they are, but at some point their pitching staff has got to start carrying a little bit more of the load there. And so I'm concerned about the A's. Now, I'm not saying red alert or anything like that, but I'm concerned about the A's.
But I know you are saying red alert about your Giants, though, right? Because you and I, we text and talk privately, and I've seen how stressed you're getting watching Giants baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even going to mention it because, I mean, it's DEFCON whatever, DEFCON 1 whatever with the Giants. It's red alert. It's incredibly concerning. I mean, this Giants team, they have a very middling payroll at this point in baseball. I think they're 13th in Major League Baseball in payroll. They've scaled back a little bit the last few years. But you've got contracts like Rafael Devers, Matt Chapman. You've got Logan Webb in his prime. You've got Robbie Ray in his prime, towards the end of his prime. You've got guys like Jung-Hoo Lee, who you signed a long-term deal as kind of an unproven guy in Major League Baseball. And you've got all these deals. You got Willie Adames. You got money on the books for a long time. And this team is just not performing. And lo and behold, firing longtime manager in Major League Baseball, Bob Melvin, manager of the year multiple times, didn't work. And surprise, surprise, that didn't fix things. So it's really going to be a tough task for them they're digging themselves a deep hole early. I mean, they're just losing all these games. Now, obviously, yesterday was a little bit of a encouraging development. You got Daniel Susak, who just can't get out.
Yeah.
He started his career 5 for 5. He now has 6 hits and 7 at bats. But then the discouraging part is Patrick Bailey is in the lineup today for the Giants instead of Daniel Susak. So. It's a red alert for the Giants.
What have you thought, Jeremiah, to this point about Tony Vitello? And obviously getting already his first ejection as a major league manager.
Attaboy.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like you being a fan, on what you have seen from him, if you can make any judgments yet.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I wrote a piece a week or so ago in SRS about Vitello, and it was right before the Padres series wrapped up. So they had just gotten swept, and then they had just won a couple games against the Padres. And, I was encouraged by his what seems to be an appetite for quick adjustments. He had used multiple lineups already at that point in the season. He had really been tweaking things quickly and on the fly, trying to find a way to spark the Giants' offense. And I thought that was an admirable quality to see from such a young big league manager who obviously this is his first time coaching in Major League Baseball ranks, coming from, the college ranks. So, people have really critiqued some of his bullpen decisions. People have critiqued a lot of things. I mean, it's just the nature of professional sports. And, maybe even especially so in a market like San Francisco, where there's a lot of pressure. The city loves their Giants. They haven't been good for a while now. And I think, there's just a lot of pressure. But to really directly answer your question, I think it's too early to tell. I think, getting rid of Bob Melvin is obviously, there's big shoes to fill, regardless of what people thought of Bob at the end of his tenure in San Francisco. Those are absolutely big shoes to fill. Can he fill them? That's still, to be seen. I have been encouraged by some of, I think, his tweaks early on in the season, but who knows? At this point, I think people have been a little unsettled by some of his public comments, maybe kind of seeming a little bit out of his depth. But I'm telling Giants fans, and from the professional side of things, you got to give him more time. Got to at least give him a couple months to see really what he's made of.
Jeremiah, we appreciate you making the time, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you at the dinner table at the Kings and Warriors. One more game, my friend. One more game in the Golden One Center before we get ready for what's bound to be a crazy summer, not just for the Kings, but in baseball as well. We'll have you back on very soon. Pleasure having you on.
Yes, thanks so much, Matt and Kayla. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
The great Jeremiah Salmonson from Sports Radio Service. He writes and covers the Kings and the A's over there. Quick scoreboard update in baseball as it pertains to our mini-series. The Giants and Phillies currently tied at 0 heading into the bottom of the third inning. That game is being played in San Francisco. That is Kyle's game today. He has the Phillies over the Giants. Kayla, last time you picked against the Diamondbacks, you picked the Tigers. The Diamondbacks scored 1 run in the first inning and ended up winning 1-0. Well, today you picked the Mets over the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks just finished the first inning and are up 1-0.
Oh my gosh! Don't say this is going to happen again to me.
So we'll see how it happens.
Oh jeez.
We'll take the break. When we come back, Keith, I see you on hold. He wants to talk about Kings briefly. We'll get to Keith, and then we'll talk about some of ESPN's mock draft trade ideas in the NFL. What do they think the Raiders would trade the number 1 overall pick for? Spoiler alert, it sucks. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
If you're serious about getting better at golf, start with the fit. At Hagen Oaks, everything begins with total game fitting. The TrackMan Player Performance Studio analyzes your swing to match you with the right clubs. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball for your game. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And with FootJoy's 3D foot scanner, you'll walk the course in shoes that actually fit. From driver to putter and even what's on your feet, Hagen Oaks fits every part of your game. Total game fitting, only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Before we get to ESPN's mock draft NFL trades, we got some fun ones to react to and break down here. Of course, crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles coming up next to wrap up the show. But Keith has been patiently waiting on hold. Wants to talk a little bit of Kings. What up, Keith?
Hey, Matt. Hey, Kayla.
Hey.
Kyle, thanks for putting me on. I appreciate it. I have like an itch in the back of my area about the national media, the way that they're talking about the Kings right now. Like we are deliberately tanking. And I can't hang with that because Doug, I mean, if you're going to comment on games, at least watch the games. I mean, he's improved every player on that roster that he has right now. And when they say that Doug is the coach that's going to be fired all of a sudden, it's like, no, hang on a sec, okay? Look, he's improved all of them. I mean, I'm talking about Maxey, I'm talking about Neek, I'm talking about Cardwell, I'm talking about Plowden, all those guys.
Keith, we appreciate the call. Yeah, I can tell he's reacting to the story that's out today.
Media,
or I don't know if it's like a lot of national media necessarily is picking it up, but there's definitely, like, I've seen articles written about it and people taking a clip of the intentional foul on Seth. Seth
Curry.
Not Steph, his brother Seth.
Mm-hmm. Somebody called me out earlier for having a biased take.
Yeah.
But he said it was also Steph.
Yeah, and it's Seth Curry was fouled
Correct.
intentionally so that Doug Christie could use his timeout that he would have lost if he did not take the timeout at that point in time. So,
well, he still makes it look Sethertless.
I was like, if that board gives it a approve, I was going to get real mad.
The board doesn't get the joke, because Kenny Smith says he's Steffertless.
Yes.
So he's Sethertless. The board just doesn't get it.
You're going to leave me with him over the next couple of days?
I
You're
am.
going to do that to me? Listen, I missed one day. I missed one day because my kid's school decides they just don't want to be open, apparently. I missed one day, and you're like, fine, I'm going on vacation.
Now, the difference is this was planned for several months.
So?
I mean, several months, a couple hours before the show, what's the difference?
Listen, I'm just saying, who's the more selfish person here? One of us had to take care of our child. The other one's going on a vacation. Who's the more selfish person?
Mini vacation.
Hey, you guys have earned vacation, okay? After the year, after the 3 months.
Matt's definite. Well, no, I'll put myself in that category too. But Matt is also definitely.
What do you mean? Matt went to Disneyland and Dylan Cardwell called him out for it.
But that was before Westbrook Gate, and he had to deal with all that.
Oh, the
that
false
in
context.
its own right deserves a week's vacation.
I'm having fun.
No,
I'm having fun.
See, that's the great thing about it. On this show, if you're tuning into this show for the first time, first of all, we've been on for 3 months, but thanks.
But thanks for being here. Hi.
Yeah, we like to have fun on this show.
I mean, you gotta.
We're going to talk sports a lot, but we also are a little bit different.
Yeah. I will say, I'm so grateful to have an outlet to where, like,
same here.
we can talk through some
Where
of
you
this
can laugh at
nonsense.
me while I'm crying.
Yeah, because of Skittles.
Skidgate.
Because the skid marks.
You need this vacation. You do. You need a break. And
you think I'm coming back any different?
no, you're coming back worse.
But you're coming back, and we won't have to watch the Kings, and that's
true.
going to be weird, you guys. I'm not going to lie.
What's hilarious about this is you are leaving like right at the end of it. You're leaving right before the end of the season, not right after the season's over. It's like you almost made it, but you're like, I can't do it anymore. I got to go. I can't do it. 2 more games. I can't do it. I got to go.
I mean, in fairness, the season's been over since, like, basically you guys started the show. I was talking to Alan about that. How crazy was it that our show started, they won 4 in a row, and then they lost 16 straight?
Oh, that is weird.
We literally said, we're good. Remember when I was worried that they were winning too much?
I know. I remember.
And now I'm worried again that they're winning too much because they are.
And then remember, like, then when you sparked them winning again?
Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
It's irrefutable. Look, the Kings are 7-9 since Westbrook Gate.
Don't put that on me.
It's not. Matt should feel privileged, actually,
Listen.
that he could spark a whole organization.
Him and Chris Biederman, apparently.
I'd like
incredible.
I'd like to pretend that I've worked hard enough and been here long enough to where my voice carries some sort of weight in this. I'm built like a foul ball pole. I do not matter.
That's crazy.
I am.
Foul ball pole. Oh, geez.
You're kind of also built like a golf tee.
A golf tee?
Yeah, like his shoulders and then his head is the ball.
But they're not that tall.
4. Yeah,
What do you mean?
No, I have long. There's
You
some
do?
long tees out there.
Okay.
Yeah, some people like to tee up really. Which you're psychopaths. If you
I
tee
don't.
up,
I
if
hate
you
it
tee
when
the ball up that
I
high,
know.
you're a baseball
How do you
player.
do that?
That's what you are. You're a baseball player.
That's how I used to do it, but I did used to be a baseball player.
True.
ESPN put out, and it's Bill Barnwell, put out a very creative mock draft. Basically, he took all of the 32 picks in the first round, and he mocked a trade for each pick.
Okay.
And I thought this is a very creative, kind of fun idea.
Yeah, I
So
didn't know about this till you brought it up.
no matter what, he has to come up with a trade for each pick. So
Oh, gosh.
he that means he had to come up with like what would a potentially realistic trade of the Raiders trading away the number 1 overall pick, what would that look like?
Weird. Were you devastated when you read that?
Well, I mean, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit and
I
then
know.
accepted the reality that this is never going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but
This
yeah.
is the pick, the trade that they came up with for the number 1 overall pick for the Raiders. Again, the point is to be a little bit realistic here. It's
Sure.
not like, hey, we're trading number 1 for Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Like, yeah, no, not happening. The Raiders trade the number 1 overall pick to the Jets, and they get the 2nd overall pick, the 33rd overall pick, and the 103rd overall pick.
Oh, geez. So the 2nd overall pick, huh?
Yes. So they
Because
get number 2 overall, but they would.
They
then
wouldn't
the
get
Jets would take Fernando.
Yeah. So you'd get Ty Simpson. Or you'd say, we're just going to go with Kirk Cousins this year and wait till next year.
Hell no.
I mean, Arvell Reese, you know?
Hell no.
Ruben Bain.
Stop.
And his tiny arms.
Hell no.
Don't you guys need a right tackle
Sound
and a
like
left
my
tackle?
grandpa when he was like hacking up a lot.
That's not good. Is your grandpa okay?
Is your grandpa a
My
smoker?
grandpa's passed.
Okay, so
Both of them.
it's not funny.
I guess rest in peace.
What do you mean you guess?
My grandpa's lived good lives. Well, especially the Marine. He lived till he was 91.
Hoorah. So let's go to Philadelphia with the 23rd pick. Philadelphia. And over Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh.
What do they do with the 23rd overall pick? Well, they trade 23 plus a 2027 third round pick and Ed rusher Nolan Smith Jr. to the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
For Max Crosby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't want Nolan.
So Nolan
Nolan's
Smith
good,
Jr., the 23rd overall pick, so the Raiders would have 1 in 23 and a third rounder in 2027
Okay,
for Max Crosby.
But then again, now you're going through the whole Max thing by again, you know.
Yeah.
Nolan Smith, to be serious, he's been good. He's one of them Georgia boys that's did some, issues with the driving off the field when he was at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
He was unfortunately in that incident that killed those kids. But he...
Sorry. It's not funny at all. It's just...
Why are you laughing?
how I deal with tragedy is sometimes I just... Sorry. It's horrible. It's I was just not... I want to have a football conversation.
What I'm trying to say here
I'm having a football conversation.
is that they rolled the dice on him. They've rolled the dice with several players. And,
See, now Matt's doing it to me, too.
and they've honestly done a good job in Philly with those players. And those players have been good. And Nolan Smith's been good. But Nolan Smith, I believe, has had some issues still. All I'm trying to say is it might just be good just to keep Max.
Hell no. I give
You don't want Nolan's. You don't want Max?
No, I want Max. I said after this Ravens thing went down, one of the worst things the Raiders could do is now trade Max Crosby and become the bad guys again. Stick with Max Crosby. So it's a big no on that. All right, let's jump to 27.
Good Lord.
And the 49ers, first overall pick, 27. The Niners trade the 27th pick, the 127th pick, which is their first pick in the fourth round, and the 133rd pick, their second pick in the fourth round.
133rd pick.
So 3 picks.
And they already don't have a third, by the way.
Yes, their third is gone.
Yep.
All to move up 4 spots to 23.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep, that's the
trade. To move up 4 spots?
27.
Who are they getting?
That's a great question. Let's see if in the explanation it says that. But essentially, that is the price in their mind to move up 4 spots. And obviously, the Niners would do this. I don't think they put an exact name.
That's interesting to me, though.
In this scenario, they're trying to jump teams that are thinking about edge talents and wide receivers.
Okay.
So they want a good edge, because you talked about earlier, the likelihood of a good, like a first-round edge being there at 27 is super low. So maybe there's one at 23, and they want to jump up 4 spots to get him.
Sure, or one of these receivers like Casey Concepcion that might be there.
So, but that's a steep price to pay to move up 4 spots.
It's a really steep price, and for the fact, too, that I do feel like you can pick some good guys in those 4th rounds and everything still. There's still value there. You're kind of leaving yourself with like no draft picks.
Yeah.
Because again, you already got rid of 3 for the 3rd rounder. So.
And they need to add depth. Like they
do.
need depth.
They
so
really
trading
do.
3 picks for 1 just doesn't seem like a very good
to go
move.
at 4 spots.
Yeah, not for the Niners.
Ugh,
I'm not
like
a big
that one.
So far, we're 0 for 3 on these trades. Last one, we'll do this one quickly. The Miami Dolphins at 30. They have the Denver Broncos pick at 30. The Miami Dolphins trade that 30th pick and a 2027 6th round pick to the Raiders for pick 36 in the 2nd round and a 2027 3rd rounder. So the Raiders move up from 36 to 30.
Okay.
Plus they include a 3rd round pick for a 6th round pick and that 30th pick.
Yeah.
So move up a few spots to get back into the 1st round, very, very end of the 1st round, to get 2 first-round talents.
Oh, that ain't bad.
It just depends on who's there, of course. You make this move depending upon if there's a guy there that you don't think will make it to 36 and you really like him. But maybe that's a potential move.
That's
that we
not
could
too
see.
bad.
It's still a fun concept. And you can go through.
Yeah,
There's
talk about thought process and putting something like this together. My goodness. Who is this? Bill Barnwell?
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are hypothetical for every single team. It's actually fascinating to see like what they think the value is of each of these picks. That's what I got more out of this than the specific trades themselves, is what like the value
For
is.
sure.
Because I would expect like Fernando Mendoza to have more value than what that Jets trade was. But again, he's trying to also be realistic here, because we could put together hypothetical dream number 1 overall pick trades.
That'd be fun.
It's just not happening. It's just not happening.
Dream GM land. That'd be a fun game.
We'll take a break, because when we come back, we got the Dream Show.
Ooh, the Dream
with
guys?
us. The Dreamies.
The Dream guys.
The Dreamers. Dream Boys.
Ooh.
We'll work on it. We're workshopping it. Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, the Drive Guys join us next to wrap up the show. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's going on for the Declaration of Deals sales event?
There's nothing more American than a Jeep. And with the Declaration of Deals, now is the time to get your hands on the ultimate factory-certified off-road machine, the new 2026 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, when you save up to $7,500 off MSRP.
Those Jeeps are pretty cool, and that's the best savings yet.
But Hoblet is more than Jeeps. With the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, you can save big on over 180 vehicles and almost 40 under $20,000. Not to mention the award-winning customer service you get at this 5th-generation dealer.
Don't wait. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $7,500 total net savings on select new 2026 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon after $1,500 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discount. Rebates may include $500 military or first responder bonus cash for eligible members. 3 of this net savings. Sample VIN 205698. See dealer for details.
Russell Peters Relax World Tour.
I go, my parents are from India. She goes, oh, India. See, I knew India. Indian people, you have a big eyes and long eyelash like a cow. Wow, 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 wow.
Saturday, April 18th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley.
Wow, 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 wow. I didn't know what to do. I just tipped her and thank you, bye-bye, and I left.
For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Russell Peters Relax World Tour.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Your business moves fast. Your bank should keep up. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built for momentum with tools that help you manage cash flow, streamline payments, and fuel growth. Right now, there's never been a better time to switch. Open a new Valley Strong business account and get 3 months of business banking products and services free, up to $750 in value to power your next big move. Because when your business runs stronger, the whole Valley does too. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future at valleystrong.com/business.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Take me down to Parasite City.
Parasite?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's my new ad for, for fleas and ticks.
Oh, the Whitey Gleason.
Yeah.
Whitey
my
Gleason's
jingle.
Pest Control is Parasite City.
Right.
Ooh.
Working on it. Kind of workshopping it.
Nice. You can use my dog if you want in the ad.
Red?
Yeah.
Does Red have fleas?
No, but I get the medicine on him. So he eats it every month so he can
Okay,
start
to
it.
prevent the fleas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take
Gotcha.
me down to Parasite City where Whitey Gleason will make your house look pretty.
There you go. It writes itself.
We're workshopping it.
I hope it writes itself because I don't want you to write it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, Whitey.
Whoa.
Don't start.
All right, Dream.
After your
All right, Dream guys.
after your whammy last night.
No.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
What did he
Time
do?
out.
Hold on.
What happened?
What happened?
I had a great idea that Frank Caliendo didn't think was a great idea.
Oh, no.
We get invited backstage to the green room.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, guys.
And it was pretty cool. And I'm just riding the wave. I didn't say much because Whitey knows Frank Caliendo very well. And wow, this is so cool. And Whitey just goes for it. I mean, the mic is still warm, and Whitey's giving Frank Caliendo new material, and he swung.
Yeah, he said, and then he said it was crazy. Then today, what Davey said, he was talking about it. He said, that's the worst idea I ever heard.
Oh, you're kidding.
It was Morgan Freeman going to Hogwarts.
No, not at all. Morgan Freeman going to the multiplex to pick up his friend George Bush, who has just seen a Harry Potter movie for the first time.
Oh, my goodness.
That would be funny. I think it's in violation of some of his rules about how you put characters together. He did not care for it.
He did not care for it.
He didn't like it, but I know it's a funny idea.
Jay and Chris Verlot and myself, we're all sitting there.
Was it silent?
And Frank is just spitting, trying to figure out how do I let Whitey down nicely.
The funniest part was I said, I know you just did the show and you don't have to use it. And he goes, oh, I'm not going to use it. Don't worry about it.
He's like, nope. No worries there.
My
Whitey.
favorite part of this whole story was Whitey going, the professional comedian doesn't like it, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it is. It's a funny idea.
So-
He'll use it someday.
He'll
see.
use it. He might come back to it.
So
at
wait,
some
it was
point.
Morgan Freeman picking up George Bush
At the multiplex.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
George Bush, when you go pick up a kid at the movies?
Yeah.
And he's just seen Harry Potter for the first time and he's like, can't
Just
process
mesmerized
it.
by it.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
It's a home
Yeah,
run.
I liked
really
it until Frank didn't like it. Now I no
you're
longer
like,
And
like
even
it.
Jay goes, where did you come up with
Why specifically Harry Potter, though?
I know.
Don't know. Good question.
Maybe a different movie.
Yeah.
Try again.
Perhaps.
No, I think it has to be Harry Potter.
Would Lord of the Rings
Whitey
work better?
can't get on
They killed
anybody
Dobby,
today.
man. I mean, it'd be funny.
At least Whitey's standing on business.
Did you guys see we got to meet him this morning?
Yeah, I was listening.
Yeah, I
morning
was
show.
like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't in the green room or even invited to a show, but at least we got to talk to him for 5 minutes.
First time at Punchline. It's a nice place, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Nice place.
And they set us up.
Good people. Oh, yeah, they hooked it up.
Nice.
VIP table. It was great.
I mean, they are the dream guys, Matt.
Did you guys steal the free waters from the Punchline green room?
No, there was no waters when we were back there. It was pretty sparse.
Yeah, we got
After the
in.
show.
Whitey gave his joke, and then Frank said, "All right, guys, I got a long day.
We talked for a while.
I got a long day
Because he knows
tomorrow."
Doug McDermott's dad, and we talked about
What?
that.
Yeah, I think did his son go to Creighton? Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
His dad just had recently retired, right? Doug's?
Yes. Yeah. So it was good times, good team
They're
building.
like, Frank, bro, we gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah,
He's just
come
going
on, guys.
and on.
You know, you should stay. Come to San Francisco.
It was
with me.
really nice. He was really nice.
Yeah, he's great.
Your
I texted him after
workshopping
the show.
session with him.
Text him
Yeah.
after the show, like, great show, and he goes, "Oh, come on back, say hi." So,
I think I said two
That's
words
cool.
back there.
Really? You, Alan Stiles?
Well, I mean, I was just kind of, assessing the situation. I was just taking it all in.
I wish
Right.
I'd said only two
And then when
words.
Whitey,
Whitey's like, yeah.
Whitey said enough for all of us, really. They said, "Great job, Frank. Great job, Patrick." Patrick Keene, shout out Patrick Keene, the opener.
Oh, he's tremendous.
Yeah, he was very
I bet
funny.
you he'll use my idea if Frank doesn't.
You know, I thought Patrick got a pretty tight set. I think he's all good.
did.
I think
Yeah.
he's pretty solid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
Good times.
With what was like the best like impression, or what was the best little?
Just little snapshots. Because
Yeah.
Jay and Alan were in front of me, so I knew they were laughing, but I couldn't really tell what they were laughing at.
Oh.
But Christopher Laud was cracking up when Frank did his John C. Reilly. And he
Yeah.
does it, and he says, "I don't know if everyone will know who this is." So some people are like, and Verlaud was cracking
He knew
up.
exactly.
And I was laughing the hardest or the most, I think, when he was doing. It was Nicolas Cage showing
Oh, yeah.
Frank his pet Komodo dragon.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it was good. Then he kept going back. He had the theme. He just creates his own realities and situations. That's the funniest part. And it all kept coming back to Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole show.
Alan was trying to do Morgan Freeman all the way up.
No, it was just
His
stuck in
car.
my head.
Yeah.
It was just stuck in my head. And then there were some people from Florida that, Frank was very confused as to what was going on there. And then somebody got up and left, and Frank said, "Okay, now I can do my funny jokes." So it was good. It was
that's
good.
good.
Jay thought we set him up by having him sit in the front. But, Frank's not that type. Jay was like, "Oh, you guys having me sit in the front." Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to
pick
get,
on you.
but
Frank
yeah.
didn't do that.
Frank, well, he will if you are obnoxiously laughing at random stuff like the Orlandans were. But yeah, good times.
Love it. Matt, you awake?
Did Verlaud? Well, I'm just.
We were looking for you guys. I guess they're not
Yeah.
coming. Marsh was there.
Yeah, Scott Marsh was there.
Yeah.
I've never even heard that this was going on.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Sounds like you don't listen to the morning show or afternoon show.
Oh no, I mean,
No, I listened to both shows.
We knew that the
Oh.
shows were happening. Just nobody came to us
yeah.
about those.
I mean-
we were going to go to
Yeah,
the show.
like I said, didn't say much myself. I'm more of a, introvert anyway.
Oh,
I think the invites
100%.
went out Monday, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I still didn't get
Lost,
one, Matt.
lost in the mail.
Yeah. Lost in my mail too. But I do a show with Whitey, so
Oh my goodness.
Whitey got us all dinner. It was very nice of him. Thank you, Whitey.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We had a time.
We still have Chris Verlaud who owes us.
Chris was there. Chris was taking it all in.
Chris said he was
not
gonna take
technically
us-
part of the Drive Guys, but
Take us for Mexican food one day.
oh,
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Yeah, but he did that also to spite Dave.
Yeah,
too,
it
so
wasn't really
there's-
about us.
It wasn't out of
I
goodness.
said us, not the Dream Boys.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll anytime I have anything, I include everyone. I just don't ever
I've not
have
been to a golfing event with you guys. I've not been to a comedy show.
We've gone once. I've gone to one golfing event. I've gone to one comedy show.
I invited Alan to be a part of a tournament with me, and he said, "I'll get back to you." And that was almost.
I
a
meant to
month
talk
ago.
to you. I meant to talk to you about that. We're doing it, right?
I don't know.
We're
Are we?
doing it. We are.
Oh my goodness.
Because I got the whole thing planned out. Gonna get lessons beforehand.
Whoa.
We're gonna turn this into a thing.
We're gonna be a scramble team.
That's right.
I think he's on board with that.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Watkins still hasn't gotten back to me either. He
Well, I was
listens
meant to
the
get
show
back
every
to you, but I'm trying to figure out the lesson situation. So I got to talk to Jay, talk to some people, and get a lesson.
Do you play, Kayla?
No, I don't play.
Kayla,
No.
But
I
you wanna
I
get
can hit the
invited?
range.
you want to get
Yeah,
invited?
because I want to sit and talk crap in the carts.
We got a good range for you. I'll tell you off air.
Perfect.
It's a
Just
great.
take me along for the entertainment.
Yeah. Watching or
Yeah, I'll
you're
just-
entertaining us?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Just confirming.
talking crap and stuff.
Wow.
You know.
I can't wait. This is going to be a great summer. Hot summer in Sacramento. We have a lot of guests today.
We do have something of a guest fest.
Guest fest.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jennifer
who?
Lee Chan's going to be on.
That's right.
Jason Jones is going to be on. Who else do we have, Alan?
We have our radio guy for the Yankees as the A's play the Yankees. Dave Sims.
Very nice.
So it's a lot.
Nice.
It's a lot. And we got big shoes to fill after your show.
That's right. We're the dream team. You're the dream boys.
Sure.
We're workshopping it. We're workshopping
Who's
it.
winning your game this week?
Hello. Where's the trophy at?
Kayla's a riveting 1-1. We're 0-2. We'll take. We're going. The Drive Guys are up next. Alan Stiles, Whitey Gleason will workshop more of his comedy routines for Frank.
It's great.
Kayla and I are out. Well, I'm back tomorrow. Kayla's going on a trip.
I saw that.
Kayla's dipping out. See you tomorrow at 10. Bye.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that,